It's ahead all the way through, and I am part of carpet countries. That's why I am carpet country. I am full of hair.
Well, we're waxing it.
No, shave and then wax.
No, we're waxing it, and I want to make sure.
If we get a draw today, you can have every part of me right now.
I don't want every part of you, to be fair. I've got a client that will certainly be willing to wax you. Don't worry about that.
Live?
Not live. There's no live feed.
All right, what have you noticed, Box? You're here for special comments. I can let you know that Traralgon are kicking towards the city end of the ground. Wonthaggi will be kicking towards South Street end, which is with what we think a little bit of breeze. And where does Ty Hourigan start, Box?
He starts down back at the moment. It looks like that Scolties is going to go... Oh, Scolties has gone to McGinn's, by the look of it.
No, he's gone to Williams.
No, he's got the Williams, yes. He's gone to Williams.
McGinn's in the goal square with Whack.
So Whack's gone to...
First quarter is underway. Jacobson and Big Thomas gets the tap down first of all for power. So he's going to start the ruck duties in there. We're going to have it again. And the umpire will have a secondary bounce. So Thomas going to start to do the ruck duties. Jacobson with a big tap down. Chug was off the back there. Gave it a quick handball to McMillan. That was Thomas. And the kick's nice. And he found Thomas again. He lowers the eyes and goes towards and finds Lindsay, who takes the mark in front of Hourigan. That breeze just held up. McGuinness on a long, searching lead. Goes there now. Oh, good hand in there from Jacobson. Across to McMahon. The switch kick to Halliburton had to wait. And he takes the mark and quickly plays on. Now to Ambler on the outer side. Right foot kick. Does a fine Lopez? No, it doesn't. Bray's going to start back and he'll spend his time in the ruck at some point. We've got a boundary throw in. Out of side here at Ted Summit of Reserve.
Yeah, great work there by Jacobson too. Just to fall back inside that kick, because the kick was nearly spot on from a great lead from McGuinness as well. So good work from the midfield to push back to really clog up that space inside their 50.
So it'll be Thomas up against... and Thomas does win the ruck. Jewel gets the handball down. They go through hands here to Sparks, who had plenty of it last week. He looks to get the ball to McMillan, but wrapped up in a tackle. And Traralgon will look to set things up through the middle of the ground. Ball spills free. Ends up in the hands there of Tiziani. Wonthaggi go forward out to the far side flank. And the boundary line will win the conversation before...
Now, we might have a free kick here, Scotty.
Coming back?
It's definitely coming back. It's down the field.
So it'll be Jack Blair to take that down the field free kick. It's about 75 from home. All three forwards lead into the same spot, which is not overly helpful. McInnes now doubles back. And Blair just pops in a little one there. Over the head of, courtesy of some wonderful defence. Over the head of Murray, courtesy of some wonderful defensive whack. Wonthaggi win the ball and go top of the square. Numbers win out here. And they get the snap around the corner for the opener. And it's Aidan Lindsay kicking the first of the day and getting scoring underway for the Wonthaggi Power.
That's what happens when you make the most of your opportunities as well. And Lindsay, we know he's been a massive player for the Power all year. But it was just that play from Wonthaggi. They got the ball inside. We've seen it twice come in. They looked dangerous both times, and Traralgon have been able to get it out. But this time around, Lindsay found himself in the perfect spot. Ball comes to ground. Great snap over the shoulder. Definitely our first contender for the Zambrero goal of the day.
And it's come at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter on the Virtue Home scoreboard. Wonthaggi leading by those 6 points. 1 goal straight.
So back to the middle they go. Thomas again, but Jacobson with a clear tap down. D'Angelo attacks it. Tiziani hard off the line and overzealous. Didn't have the foot he did, D'Angelo. He'll quickly play on. The run across half back there was from Membry, and he found Halliburton, top of the 50. He wants to give a hand quickly too. Daltrey, inboard kick was partially smothered. Ambler works hard, wrapped up with a Tiziani tackle. Umpire says my ball 40 metres out.
Yeah, Scott, just from that stoppage then from the middle, the bounce, O'Connor was free on his own inside the defensive 50, Wonthaggi.
Jacobson another tap down. Bates got the footy though and then kicked it towards the boundary line. Sparks tried to keep it in with McMahon and the boundary line wins.
So I'm not sure whether they're going to try and do that defensive play with a 7-man back line when they kick a goal, or whether they just did that because of the fact that Traralgon dropped the player back.
So the two big ruckmen will go at it again. Half forward flank for Traralgon, far side of the ground. And Jacobson gets a lovely little flick out the back. And they're off to the races here through Daltrey. Daltrey goes top of the square towards Hamilton. He's got company down there, though. And Fergus O'Connor chips in and takes the intercept mark. Has one bounce and kicks up here to the wing. A 2-on-1 numbers favour Traralgon, but Lindsay's good there. Gets a handball up there to young McMillan. He takes his time. No pressure, the young fella. And the two baldies combine. It's Gilmore. And he finds O'Connor centre wing. And they'll just settle things down. The man with two middle names screams for it in the middle of the ground in Jacob Thomas, but that's ignored, and he goes long to half forward. Numbers advantaging Traralgon here. Jacobson gets back. He's got Wack for company. Wack gets his hands on it, flicks a handball out there to the runner, Daltrey. Daltrey gets the ball taken off him, though, by McInnes. Big tackle laid there by Wack. Numbers advantage Traralgon, although a free kick's been paid here, and it's going to go Wonthaggi's way. Wonthaggi, Wack just a little overzealous there in the tackle to McInnes. And this will test his leg, Scud, from just outside 50 early doors and really tell us about that wind as he kicks to the South Street end.
Yeah, you're spot on. It is coming across from right to left, so you think he's got to start it to the right goalpost, just depending if it is right to left or if it's a little bit in his face.
He's a big kick, Scud, so I'll really back him in here as well.
So McInnes now, steady approach. Kicking into the teeth of the breeze. The big boy Jacobson down on the line can play a role here. He shorts the kick to the top of the square. Numbers fly. Quick snap around the corner by Lindsay for his second attempt on goal. Stacks on the mill. And there's a pile of humanity down there. There's about 14 players in the goal square. And the umpire trots in and will toss it into the air 4 metres out directly in front of the Power goal.
Yeah, Thomas was the last one off the bottom of the pack, and now the ruckman goes out. So McInnes up against Jacobson. Jacobson tap down. Dangerous spot. Blair trying to get a handball out. Quick handball, and that was a throw. Traralgon's going to get the free kick through Jackson McMahon.
They've been really dangerous inside with their smaller players too, Wonthaggi. They really want the ball at ground level to really put the pressure on the Traralgon defenders.
First quarter for Virtue Homes. Margin sits at 6 points. Favour the Power. Membry's got it into the back pocket for the Maroons. Nice crowd building on Sunday afternoon. Great to have your company on TRFM. Hugs the boundary line with a kick, centimetre perfect. And finds Big Jacobson. They want to go inboard. They'll take that risk every day. Ambler's got it, and he'll continue, Willie. He's looking. He wants to go inboard. He doesn't want to come back down the line. And that was a message pre-game. He decides to switch. Membry's got it. Outer wing they go. Daltrey will be the target. Finds him on the chest. Wax there. Inboard they go. Holds up in the breeze. Bray with a spoil. Wax second effort was good. Got it onto the left boot. It's going to come back though as Bates drives it back inside forward 50. Membry with a sit. Good body work. Takes the mark and they relieve the pressure.
And they get it into the right man's hands in Hourigan here. Hourigan's got another short option available to him and he uses Tate Marsh. Marsh just outside defensive 50. Jacobson, who's had no one go near him all day, takes about his third mark. He plays on and gets onto that right leg. Kicks more central here. It favours the Power though. And a mark taken there by Bates. He dishes a handball off to the run of Chug and Wonthaggi turned defence into attack. And
look at that. Unreal.
McInnes was left all on his own because Traralgon had set up to spread, turned defence into attack themselves. McInnes sneaks out the back, takes an uncontested mark on a 45-degree angle, 40 metres outbox.
Yeah, spot on there too, Scotty, because Traralgon spread to this commentary side of the ground. Once the turnover happened, Wonthaggi already had the numbers across the ground to actually win the ball and kick the ball to the fat side where McGinns was in the perfect spot to have a shot at goal right now.
Now, he had a sider from here earlier. This is his second chance. This one he hits better, but it goes skinny side, minor score only.
Taking Wonthaggi to 117. Traralgon yet to score, and that's on the Virtue Home scoreboard. We've played 7 minutes.
It's telling us a lot about this breeze, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both kicks he wanted to keep really low, and unfortunately, he's had one short and then one across to the left. So probably the range is going to be around that 40-metre mark. You don't want to be kicking too much more than that at that top end. Membry brings it back in, comes to the near side, looking for a little bit of protection. Hamilton couldn't complete the mark. Ambler there, spun around a 360, gives it to Tom McMahon, under pressure, coughed it up. Hayes is there to pick it off. Outside 50, in he goes to Jack Blair. Couple of bites at it, couldn't complete it. McMillan goes hard, and that's Thomas. And equally up to the task there was Tom McMahon as well. Hourigan saved the day and causes a stoppage. I make it 8 minutes. First quarter for Virtue Homes. Jacobson tapped it down. D'Angelo there quickly wrapped up. Looking for over the shoulder and sucked in there, I think. He just lowers it, quickly plays on. He gives it to Jacko McMahon.
So McMahon puts himself under a little bit of pressure, runs a full 360 and gives a handball back. D'Angelo's kick looking down the line from McKenna, who's a long way from home. And a big spoil there from the man with two first names in the ruckman for Power, Jacob Thomas. And he puts it out of bounds for a throw-in right in front of Coach Hamilton down there for the Traralgon Maroons. And we'll flip this one back into play. They come in a good half cricket pitch, so this one's going to land a long way in, and it's a decent heave. And the ruck tap gets over the back to McMillan. He handballs more in hope than anything else, and they've turned it over in a dangerous spot. Although the handball was a little bit too hot there by Daltrey, and it's turned it over here, and it'll go the way of McMillan of Power. He kicks in. but it is all Traralgon setting up behind the ball, and Hourigan takes the first of what will be many marks today, and he sets the ball out in front of Skoltz on the far side of the ground. He pops a handball over the top there to the runner, Halliburton. They're doing it by hands now, and the blonde hair of Cooper Brown now has it far side of the ground. His kick's not so good. Chug gets in and gets a hand on it, steadies the ship for power, uses the left leg, goes long down the line. Just a little bit too long, and Hourigan is able to intercept for Traralgon. Calm as a coma. A bit of give and go now by Hourigan. He sells a little bit of hand candy, kicks down the line, and Chug intercepts again. Here's Scud.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's going to be the Chug Hourigan show this afternoon. I think Chug down back, half back, has been a revelation down there as well. And they've just found each other both times the ball's come in and out of their field and back at the moment.
So Chug kicks it back down and taking the mark there with Skolters. Back into the side. Good to see Joel back out there. Inboard with a kick. Hangs in the air. Whack. Can't complete the mark. Powell's got numbers everywhere. Murray twisting, turning. Gives a handball to Sparks. And Sparks from 60 ran into a strong tackle play onto the umpire. Willerton was there. Left it behind. Gets towards Blair. He squeezed a handball out. A big don't argue from... it was there on Patterson. Kicks it high to the top of the square. No one can mark. Lindsay's already got one. Now he steps again. Hourigan on the last line. Takes the mark. Outlet kick was good to Jacobson. He's got a handball over the top to Marsh if he wants him. Waits and waits. Now he gets to Marsh. Took a little bit of time to think about that one, did Jacobson. And Tate Marsh goes inboard off the side of the boot. This is coming back. And it's Dickinson who's got it. Gives it across to Sparks. He had a little fumble. That's rare. Has to go back and find it to Sparksy. And he tries to shuffle it out to Lindsay. Umpire says my ball. 10.5 minutes in on the first quarter for Virtue Homes. Sees a 7-point margin to the Power.
Just waiting for a side to settle down here too. A lot of mistakes being made by both sides, Scud.
And Thomas wins the tap down, but it only goes as far as Marsh at Traralgon. He hacks the ball into the middle of the ground and it stacks on the mill. And will reset as Cade Root is ridden into the ground in a fair tackle. So we'll set this one up just forward to centre, favouring the Wonthaggi Power scoring end. And they do win the tap through Thomas, but they're not able to get advantage from it. And Marsh hacks the ball forward again. Gets out the back of the contest here. Traralgon favoured initially by the bounce, not so much the second time round. Cooper Brown goes in and picks it up. Shrugs one tackle, gets a handball off. They're doing it in halves here under all sorts of pressure. And dropping the ball, or maybe incorrect disposal perhaps more likely, and the Power will take the free kick and it'll be Patterson. And he plays on and has a bounce at centre half-back. Now looks to straighten things up, kicks to a one-on-one. The kick drops in short and favours the lead of Jared Blair. He rolls onto the right leg. His kick's too short as well. Hourigan gets hands to it first. Can't keep it cleanly in front. They go a second time now, and it'll be Tripodi who settles things down and finds a teammate on the half-back flank in Dunbar. So far side of the ground, half-back flank, Traralgon kicking into the breeze. Dunbar ball in hand, goes as long as he can down the line. Nice body work there by Chug to put the big fella underneath the footy. But he sets his teammate up with a horrible handball, and they've turned it over here to Hamilton of Traralgon. He flicks a handball inside. There to be one. D'Angelo gets his hands on it, but he's wrapped up in a big tackle. Ball spits out sideways. Traralgon hack the ball forward, but it's all greenery in front of them. All that grass that Scud was talking about in the pre-game, and it goes out of bounds on the full, off the foot of Reuters. Power to take the free kick, far back pocket.
Yeah, spot on, Scotty.
Touch, Scud. Touch will be a throw in.
They really set up really well behind the ball, Wonthaggi, so really putting a lot of pressure on the ball carrier from Traralgon to try and get it inside their 50. When they do, the ball is going nowhere.
Well, this is their chance for the Maroons. Lopez with a nice tap down. Ambler worked hard at ground level and then tried to flick it out. He's been pinged for legged, I reckon. Ambler's going to get the free kick. Man on the mark stands about 37.5 metres. Ambler will probably have to kick at 40 boxer. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, tough. The wind will be in his face right now. I was looking for the flags, but they're like near the can bar. So, but I can see the flags blowing across the ground. So, a tough kick from here, but not impossible.
So big moments, all thanks to Metricon Homes, Australia's #1 builder, 8 years strong. Ambler with a first real shot for the Maroons. Comes in, 40 metres out, gets underneath it. It's going to drop short, and Thomas just says, I'll help that over with a thumping fist. It's a minor score, though.
Traralgon's first scores come at the 13-minute mark on the Virtue Home scoreboard. One behind 1 point, trailing Wonthaggi, who are 117.
Yeah, Scub, quickly in the B-grade netball, it was Traralgon 43. They defeated Leongatha 36.
So Power come in initially, short kick into the back pocket, now go long down the line towards Thomas. Plenty of Power players there at ground level. They win the ball by hand. Now they've turned it over in a relatively dangerous spot here. Traralgon will do well to kill this contest, which they do. And they've kept the ball in their forward half, a kick and a half from goals. Wonthaggi had the numbers there, but weren't able to be clean enough by hands to get the ball moving forward. So the two big ruckmen will go at it again. And Thomas versus Jacobson. The ball gets right at the back of the contest. That's a decent heave. It's ended up in the centre square, and it's picked up there by Dunbar. He rocks and rolls and reels, and is done for holding the prune.
And this is what I don't understand. The actual throw-in was the advantage of Wonthaggi, and then the free kick went their way as well. So either you call it from the umpire saying it was no advantage to either side and re-throw it in. Otherwise, you're really jeopardising another opposition's free kick there.
So Bates' kick got thumped out of bounds. We've got a boundary throw-in. True centre wing, 14 and a half minutes. Another good boundary throw in. Jacobson with a little death tap down to D'Angelo. Had one take. Ambler's worked hard. Blair twisting in, spun around, then got ball to boot. Inside it goes. Whack will come out. He tried to shin it. He got it through the back. Lindsay dives in on top of it. And he's working hard for the power defence. Hourigan's on the bottom of the pack as well. And the umpire will have no other option to ball it up. Margin at 6. Thomas and Jacobson. Jacobson with a tap. Tiziani there. D'Angelo, Tiziani goes again and tries to do the ray gun breakdance move and got pinged for holding the footy. And just got a bit of a shove, did D'Angelo. No 50. Quickly plays on to Membry. Membry's kick's going to go down Sparks, although one hand couldn't complete it. Handballed out now. Nicely done by Cunico. Now to Jacobson. To Willerton. Handball over the top to Tripodi. Can't take it cleanly. Coming the other way is Knowles. Off his shin, out of bounds.
And I don't know if he's got a hard tag or not, Box, but every time Sparks touches the footy, he's under all sorts of pressure.
Free kick off the footy here. Jack Blair got dumped, and he'll get 50. Jake, that is silly for Jacobson, but the umpire's going to give him, the benefit of the doubt.
He's evasive as well.
Wow.
So it'll be Blair here, centre wing. Traralgon push back in big numbers, so there's raft of humans in front of him, so he shoots a handball sideways, so not great advantage, and the kick down the line's turned over, mark taken by D'Angelo on the half-back flank. He does come inside. They've been trying to do this all day. This time they were able to find the target there, mark taken by Daltrey. He looks outside, but is encouraged to go inside, but there's too many numbers out this side of the ground, and a nice simple mark taken by Tripodi. Just negative side of the wing in front of the coach's box. He gets a little one inside now to Membry. He goes more central. We like this one down the line to Leprez. He sets himself from 3 deep. He comes out and clunks it with the two dukes. He's 60 from home. He lays a handball off. Handball to Ambler. Ambler's kick inside the 50. Mark taken by Halliburton in the forward pocket. About 40 metres out. Maybe too far out to score, but Traralgon with another chance on goal here, Box.
Yeah, same spot as before. You saw the ball hold up a fair bit in the wind. I just don't know by both sides. They're really pushing the ball on the outside of the ground at the moment, not pushing on the inside. So quite a little bit of negative footy at the moment.
So Halliburton goes bang from 35-40. The ball holds up in the breeze and then gets pushed further back towards him for a minor score only. No, it's gone out on the full. It's gone out on the full. It was looking goalward bound and then it's ended up out on the full, so Power take the free kick in the back pocket.
Oh, O'Connor went to chug and got crunched by Willerton. He was strong enough to take the mark, though. Best on ground this afternoon. Chugs putting his claim to fame early. It's all thanks to Gippsland Ozuzu. He kicks it to the outer side, and it's going to get over the back. Can't complete the mark, though. Went through his hands, Jackson Williams. That footy kicking that direction, Boxer, has plenty of carry.
Yeah, Scott, I was just going to say, too, that I think we underestimate the wind at the moment, too, because it really is pushing across the ground, too. So we saw that ball hold up in the wind from our point of view. And so we know that it's pretty tough conditions kicking to that other end of the ground.
Not sure it's favouring, though, the South 3 end, though.
No.
As much as what it is hindering kicking towards the city end. Free kick to the ruckman here in Thomas. Steps around the tackler, and then the right foot thumping kick. That's got distance on it too. Membry's had a good start.
He has.
An intercept mark for Mitch. He's got a runner out the back. Hourigan. Does someone work for him to this grandstand side? Not really. He doesn't have too many options on. Although Halliburton now presents long, but he goes short, and that's a beautiful kick to Scolters, who just relaxed a moment. And with that right knee heavily bandaged, the ball goes out of bounds.
Scott, I know we're forced to come sometimes out wide, but a lot of the times when they've been able to go inside, they haven't gone the inside to attack the corridor a lot more. So both sides need to look at that better.
And the ruckman have gone a long way back, not realising it was a different boundary umpire this time, so they've had to charge in to get it. Traralgon winning the ground level through Ambler. He gets a handball off to Willett, and Willett too cute by half, tried to flick it over his shoulder, and the umpire's pinged him for holding the ball, and Schultz will take a free kick, centre wing. He tries to get round Willett, and good luck with that, and he does get round him. His little kick goes in there to the direction of the ruckman, but it's turned over, and Dunbar gets his hands on it again, but it'll be coming back. Oh no, drop the mark down here, the Wonthaggi power across the centre of the ground, putting his head over the footy. It was Dixon dropping the mark, putting his head over the ball was Schultz. And the umpire circles and watches.
Gee, another one.
And Pings are holding the ball free kick.
Yeah, against McKenna.
It'll go against Big Dan McKenna. And the kick goes away there of Schultz.
Here we go.
So they've moved the ball through the middle of the ground and found Knowles. Now they go out of side wing where it's Bray. First touch for Bray that I can recall. His kick's a beauty, finds a target. Handball there under pressure, though, goes to the ground. It's picked up down there by Gilmore. Gilmore's kicking to the forward 50, not great. Picked up on the fly, though. Handball comes back into the forward 50. Traralgon able to reset, and they'll just calm things down here with a series of handballs. Ends up in Membry's hands. He assesses his options, and a lovely pass. And he finds, is that Halliburton up there high? It is indeed on the half-back flank. So he goes long down the line. McKenna presents. Gets both hands to it, but the big spoil comes from behind. Dan good at ground level. Flicks a handball up. Traralgon can keep going forward, but they've managed to cough it up here to Knowles. Although a free kick's been paid.
Called O'Connor for the throw there, Scotty.
So free kick will go to Hamilton, 70 from home. A one-on-one in front of the footy. Probably their best chance all day. Tripodi gets a fist from behind. O'Connor does well at ground level. Flicks a handball on. No one's able to get it clear, and we'll have a forward 50 stoppage right on the top of the 50-metre arc here, favouring Traralgon scoring end. They trail one behind to 1-1-7, 20 minutes played.
I'm just waiting for both sides to stop making mistakes here because they both turn the ball over evenly at the moment.
Big thump forward from the ruckman. Jacobson running onto it was D'Angelo, but the Wonthaggi defence wrapped him up. We've got another stoppage, a little bit closer to goal, though, for the Maroons. They haven't managed to major just yet.
Is it perceived pressure, Scud, or just the pressure on both sides at the copping the ball up both ends?
I think pressure is enormous from both sides out there at the moment. It is hot footy, as you'd expect. Bray took it out of the ruck. Little kick. Out goes towards the top of his defensive 50. Halliburton went to ground. Tripodi it was. Sparks hammered over the shoulder. McMillan now across now to Patterson. Inboard. Blair with another handball. Dickerson's there. They get out of it. No, they don't. That's holding the footy. So 5 or so handballs. And they didn't get away with it. Chance Daltrey wanted the advantage. And the ball's going to come back.
Not only no advantage, Darryl, they've kicked the ball 55 metres away, which is going to allow the power defenders to set up behind the footy here. So when the ball does come back here, it'll be Wack to take the kick, but McMahon to take the kick, but he's going to have about 30 blokes between him and the goals.
Special comments this afternoon, all thanks to Carpet Country.
Blood rule.
So they're just going to hold on to this one. Jack Blair's going to come off, just get a little bit of work done.
Not again. Now, he's the same bloke last week. They took off with a little graze on his arm.
Now, there's the knee last week. What is it this week? Who knows? So he's going to get a little bit of work done. Can't see any...
That knee again.
No, it's on the elbows.
Same one.
So Tom McMahon has it, and he wants a handball out the back, but Membry wasn't ready for it. McMahon chips it in to the dangerous spot. The big pack, Hamilton, had to become the spoiler. Then they rove. Ambler was the one that picked it up. Hayes and Sparks for the power.
Traralgon get a goal on the off now. The ball inside 50. They've got it inside a few times. They haven't scored. This is where if they can do this, that's a big win for them.
Well, the question is if Halliburton got ran down from behind by McGuinness. Play on to the umpire. They hold a moment, and now we have a ball up. 40 metres out from Traralgon's goal. They're kicking towards the city end of the ground at Ted Summoner Reserve. Great to have your company right here on Gippsland Live.
So it'll be Bray up against McKenna. McKenna gets it out to a dangerous spot, but it's all power at ground level. They go through the hands here. Dickerson ends up with the footy. His kick goes up and down in the centre circle, and Traralgon will just set up beautifully behind the footy, and Membry runs onto it and does as he pleases. He goes thump with a decent drop punt down the line, but the big boy down there is Thomas. He goes back, Mark Andor free kick. No, it's not Thomas, it's Bray. But he gets up and takes the footy. He goes far side now where he finds Gilmore. Gilmore now takes off down centre wing, goes long down the line towards McInnes. He's got out the back, but the boundary line will win the conversation. And there's an argument between the player and the boundary umpire about whether or not it's out in the full. Boundary umpire wins. It was out in the full. Traralgon free kick.
Maybe the Traralgon player won that one. He convinced the boundary umpire that it was out of bounds. Inboard kick to Neocleus. Back to Wack. They want to run and gun. The kick from Wack goes down the line. Big spoil from Bray. Gets to ground level. Sparks is there. Somehow gets a handball forward. Whack comes. They go hard. McGuinness held the strength. Oh, that was just seemed to be good play. Whack gave away one over the shoulder. McGuinness has just taken in the big ones. Trying to get that wind in from yesterday, Boxer.
Yeah, definitely. If you get... Anyway.
Yeah, McGuinness has got the breath back. He drives it inside. The big fella, Ruckman, tried to complete it. Couldn't. Lindsay's there. Scolters wraps him up straight away. We'll have a ball up.
He's disappointed there, Thomas, too. He should have probably marked that. He was in the best position to do that. I like the fact that he's actually rucking first up.
So Thomas v. Jacobson, ball comes to ground. Blair gets it.
Ooh.
Wrapped up in a big tackle. Not going anywhere.
Yeah, the umpire's called the too high.
The other umpire, the non-controlling umpire's called too high. So we'll have a free kick shot on goal here for Wonthaggi Power. The breeze has actually just dropped a little here, Box, so he might be a sniff.
Yeah,
he gets the kick underway shortly.
My tree's not saying that.
Yeah, this will be a tough one for Jared. All the experience in the world, though.
Right goalpost.
100%. Got to keep it low, I think.
Yep. Get through that streamline.
So he's been advantaged by the shortest guy on the ground being on the mark. So Blair comes in from 45, gives it his all. Looks good so far. The last couple of metres will tell. Unable to get there, and it's thumped over the line. An aggressive fist it was by McMahon. Killed the contest and put a minor score on the scoreboard.
And takes Wonthaggi to 1-2-8, leading by 7 points over Traralgon, one behind 1 point. Virtue Home scoreboard at 25 minutes played first quarter.
They go to the outer side. McMahon goes high and long. And it's a 2-on-1. Hurrigan was the target. Punch down. Front and square there was Marsh. Kicks around the body to D'Angelo. Spoil from Schultz. Not coming. He tried one. And the mark was paid to D'Angelo. He looks up. He wanted to come in board and then said, no, sorry, Ty. Hayes was there. A 50-metre penalty against Blair. Schultz. And D'Angelo wants to move it quickly. The man on the mark will be 45. D'Angelo can switch it to Halliburton. He comes out to the near side. He does just that. Halliburton, probably a better spot. No closer to goal, but a better spot to have a shot.
Definitely a better spot, Scud. That far pocket, we'll call it the cricket end side, is the tougher pocket now. The left goalpost here, scoreboard side, much better position, 45 metres out.
Here he comes, rolls across the 50, and from 48, it's a shocker. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go out of bounds about the 35-metre mark.
You're pretty kind. That was poo on a stick.
All right.
Wampers, the cool kids might say.
Yeah.
That is not your Zambrero goal of the day contender. Anyway, they get an inside 50 at least, Paul.
They do. The 8th time, Wonthaggi have 12 so far.
All right. Can they score from this stoppage? Drops at the toes. Jacobson has to go low and then put a strong tackle on the youngster in McMillan. And Connor was up to it, gives it back to the umpire. Ball up.
Might have been the biggest bloke out there tackling the littlest bloke out there. Thomas against Jacobson again. Jacobson takes it out of the ruck, snaps around the corner. Smother comes in, though, from Chug. They can't get a clear possession initially, and now she stacks on the mill. There's a good 3, 4, 5 in there, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. 12, 15 metres out directly in front of the Traralgon goal. Yet to register a major. Probably kicking to the non-scoring end, though. Jacobson again snatches it out of the ruck, tries to get it onto his shoe, but they can't. Power win it, and a blast kick out. Lux of Fortune finds Jack Blair in the back pocket. He's got a lead coming at him, which he ignores and goes longer down the line. Gilmore one-on-one. Big Fish comes from behind from Membry, and he kills the contest. And we'll ball it in right down here in front of the broadcast area, right in front of the Wonthaggi coaches box.
Yeah, I'll give Stuart Gilmore a bit of a kick there, I think. He had a touch, put him down, Paul Carter. The ex-Power coach now doing some assistant coaching duties. Good to see.
And gee, they got some coaches down there, the Wonthaggi crew.
Yeah, Tristan Francis, Kyle Reed's down there as well.
They all paid to get in. There'll be a record gate. Ball in finds the ground. Willett grabs it. Sharks it. Handballs backwards there to Reuters. He kicks the ball up towards the 50 as a siren sounds to end the first quarter.
27 and a half minutes, Scotty, it went. The score says...
Traralgon 0-1-1, Wonthaggi 1-2-8.
And you are listening to Gippsland Live. Right across Gippsland the Valley on TRFM. Great to have you company on this Sunday afternoon. It's the first semi-final, and it is the Power leading by 7 points. It's thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. Umpire holds the footy loft for the second quarter. And things are underway. Scotty's got some info for us.
It's like Hourigan's gone forward.
They start it now, and their Ambler quick kick goes towards half forward. Gets out there, O'Connor for the power. Over the back, though, is Chug. He waits for it to sit up for him in front of Willardon. Nicely done with the hands. And O'Connor relieving kick. Although he didn't adjust with the wind conditions. Out of bounds on the full. What was that, Scotty? Sorry, you...
Hourigan's gone forward this quarter.
Yeah.
I think he's got Shannon Bray for company down there. I'm sure Box would have been onto that, but he's still coming up the stairs.
Yeah, so kicking with the breeze, you'd expect that'd be the case. And the Traralgon side have got the footy on the wing area. Ambler has it now. And Hourigan does present. Traralgon player goes down. It was Neocleus. They go to Hamilton. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Has to fight at ground level. They dive in top. The umpire puts his head over the footy and says, my ball. And Louis D'Angelo does not take a backward step.
Yeah, spot on. I just heard it through the huddle as well. Hourigan was going to go forward. Hamilton's the go-to man as well inside their forward 50 for Traralgon.
Kunik off the back of the pack. Kick around the body. High. Bray ended his. Knowles takes the mark.
So Knowles deep in the back pocket here for Wonthaggi Power. There's about 30 players directly in front of him where he wants to kick.
The switch isn't on.
He does look, but it's not there, so he just goes thump. And it's a decent sort of leg. Gets out the back of the contest. A bit of a fist on the back of it there and sees it over the boundary line. Although the umpires found a free kick for holding. It'll go Ryan Sparks' way. I think, Paul Carter, this might be his first kick on top of 4 handballs.
That's correct, Scotty.
Assuming he kicks it.
Oh, jeez.
Assuming he kicks it, of course. So still inside his defensive 50. He does put leather on leather and he goes down towards centre wing. All sorts of holding on down there. And the umpires found that free kick to go the way of Bray, who's pushed forward.
So I don't mind this from Wonthaggi. Force the contest, force the free kick as well. So they have to kick down the line because the conditions are pretty bad down there at the moment.
And his kick's in a ripper and he finds Lindsay about 2 kicks from goal just over there in front of the cricket complex. He comes more central to a 1-on-3. McMahon in front position. McInnes from behind gets up. Can't complete the grab though.
His second effort was with his chin.
Well, it would have suited me. I could have grabbed it with my chin.
So ball up top of the 50. Bray taps it down and follow-up work was good. Crash through the pack, got a handball away. Umpire said play on. Jacobson now becomes the tackler. Another stoppage out of side.
They're pretty calm at both the huddles at quarter time there as well. So they really are focused on setups and effort in this quarter.
Jacobson with a tap down. Cunico with a kick goes straight up and down. No one wants to stand underneath it. In fact, it actually bounces. And now Cunico actually got his handball towards Neocleus. Out wide to Willerton. Handball over the top. It goes. Lopez gives it back to the runner in Willerton. Ducked the shoulder, ducked the head. And the umpire said over the shoulder. So Willerton's got it. Far wing. Out of side ground. Breeze blowing towards the South Street end of the ground. The Maroons trail by 7. It's on the Moe Racing Club scoreboard. The kick goes down the line over the back there of McKenna's head. O'Connor was there. Ambler tries to shove his opponent Schultz out the way and then ran out of some real estate with another boundary throw in.
Hey, Scott, I'm not exaggerating with the wind. It really has picked up. It's going right across the ground right now to the new basketball court ends here at Ted Summerton Reserve. It is really tough conditions out there for both sides.
So it's going to be O'Connor to do the ruck work up against McKenna. You think McKenna would win this. He does. Gets a tap down. Can't find a teammate at ground level, though. Chug picks it up and he's wrapped up. And holding the ball, if you don't mind. We're a long way from it, but I wouldn't have thought there was a lot of opportunity to get rid of it. But the free kick will go the way of Traralgon inside their forward 50. Pretty nasty sort of angle to have a shot on goal from. But they'll go back and line things up. Plays on straight away, wastes no time, goes top of the square. The big boys set themselves. There's almost enough on it to get it there in the end. That wind must have really picked up, but only a minor score in the end.
And takes Traralgon to 2 behinds, 2 points. We're on the Moe Racing Club scoreboard at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. That's a 6-point margin. Wonthaggi 128.
Knowles with the kick-in duties. Straight up the middle. The breeze takes it across to the left-hand side of the oval. Head over there was McGuinness, is a long way from home. He'll give it back to the umpire and roll back to his forward post.
Only 4 players inside the forward 50 for Wonthaggi. The rest are all high up after that kick in. They were expecting that kick to come from Knowles.
So Jacobson and Bray. Jacobson tapped it down straight to Bray and then got ran down. That's holding the footy. Ooh. Good tackle by D'Angelo. And he wants to get the footy quickly and move it. A couple of kicks out from a shot on goal is Louis D'Angelo. A couple of options short. They're ignored. A long piercing kick down the throat of Chug. He's having some sort of game. One of our players of the day so far for Gippsland Isuzu. Chug goes back to the outer side. Rinse and repeat. Out the back. Bray off the chest. Can't complete the second one. Socket off the ground and goes out of bounds. True centre wing, outer side. 5 minutes into the second quarter for the Moe Racing Club. Moe Cup Day's not that far away.
Chug 8 disposals and 3 intercept marks so far.
So it'll be Bray up against Jacobson. Jacobson having some footwear issues out there, Box. Keep an eye on his right shoe, mate. I reckon he's struggling. Bray wins it, hacks the ball forward, picked up by Scolders. He's wrapped up in a big tackle. McMahon cracks in, Whack cracks in, ball comes over the top here. He's doing it via hands, ends up with Jackson McMahon. His little half kick goes forward. No one able to take it cleanly, but now they can settle through the middle of the ground. D'Angelo's kick to a one-on-one. McKenna, 1 grab, 2 grabs. Marks just outside 50. He rolls. Hourigan presents at him. Hamilton presents at him. Dan says no. Dan holds on to it. Dan knows best. Chips, marks, and finds Jordan Cunico 35 from home.
Yeah, smart footy. Really smart footy for McKenna. Like, he held it up. He knew the wind was going to play a bit of a factor there as well. He waited for the cavalry to come in and help and assist. Cunico really worked hard to get inside, and it was a great kick inside to him as well. Just needs to finish.
So in he comes from 35, 45-degree angle, the yellow shoes. He sets it out, uses the breeze beautifully. The Traralgon boys celebrate. They've got their first major on the board for all Cunico.
They look dangerous, don't they, the Maroons, as well? So it's one of those things where they've really worked hard to get it inside 50, and I'll be interested to see what the numbers are for their inside 50 so far. We've only been playing 6.5 minutes. But the fact is that they've really, really worked hard to get the ball inside 50. Wonthaggi had to work hard to get it out, and they can't. The real pressure from Traralgon has been really imminent so far in this second quarter.
Scores a level at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter on 1-8 on the Moe Racing Club scoreboard, and it's 4 inside 50s this quarter for Traralgon, 1 to Wonthaggi.
You could tell by the crowd noise as that went through, and the boys behind the goals. Our effects mic picking it up beautifully. Back to the middle there. Chance Daltrey gives a handball to that man, Cunico. Got a little bit of space in front. Left foot kick. Chug again. And boy, does he have some hops. Another intercept mark for Isaac Chug. He's going to go back to the outer side. Bray's the target. Hits him on the chest. Bray turns. He's got Bates if he wants him. He's got Patterson inboard. Both ignored. Looks further afield. McGuinness might be the target. Chips it over the top of McGuinness' head. Blair might have to fly 3 deep. Scolter's in the front spot, couldn't complete the mark. Sparks is at ground level, quickly tackled by Ambler. And we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, they need to work hard at half forward here now, Wonthaggi, because they're really getting cut down there as well. Jack Blair's finding himself deep inside 50. He's one of those lead-up players, even though his height won't allow it. He needs to be high up. They need those players presenting so they've got something to kick to coming at defensive 50.
Bray with a tap down. Cunico grabbed it, instantly tackled.
I just wonder if Jacobson might have come off to change tyres. It's McKenna in the ruck and no sign of Jacobson on the park.
All right, let's have a look at those. You're on to that one early, Scotty. So now the ruck duties land with McKenna, but Bray tapped it down. Bates was at the back of the pack, close to the boundary lines. Sparks will come in to help, and we'll have a boundary throw in eventually. Big moment all thanks to Metricon Homes. Discover Metricon's 2024 Master Builders Award-winning display in Druin, and the all-new Metricon display home now in Franklin Place in Traralgon.
So far side centre wing, it's Bray versus McKenna. Bray wins it down, but only as far as Scolders. He sinks a slipper into it. Up to half forward it goes. Ground ball to be won. And it is one down there by Power. Wrapped up in a big tackle, though. And Traralgon have got some territory, but not some possession, and will ball this one up. About 65 from the Traralgon goal. 1-2-8, each of 2. 9 minutes played here in the second quarter, and the ball goes tossed into the air. Neither ruckman able to touch it. McKenna grabs it on the bounce, hacks the ball into the forward 50. Charging at its Chug. He grabs it, waits a little bit of time, draws a player, gets a handball over the top to Dickinson. Dickinson kick around the corner is intercepted, and it will be D'Angelo again on that half-forward flank. He's had plenty of it this quarter. He wastes no time, kicks to the dangerous spot. Hamilton's there, Leprez is there, big pack! Umpire's found a free kick, and it's going to go Wonthaggi's way. Might have been better off not blowing the whistle there and letting Power run with it, but nonetheless, back it'll come, and the man with 2 first names goes back, Jacob Thomas. His kick finds grass, but Power good enough to hold on to the footy, and it ends up in Bates' hands on the half-back flank.
Switch is on if he wants it. Doesn't decide to go there. Goes the outer side. Murray strong. And good to see Murray back. First senior game this year.
Geez, they're working hard to get it out of the defensive 50, aren't they, the Power?
Yep.
Right now, they really are.
And they're just going back to this same sort of spot on the outer side. We haven't seen anyone. Traralgon are willing to change it up when they're kicking into the breeze and change those lines, but Wonthaggi aren't. They're just happy to gain territory and set up behind the footy.
Yeah, spot on, Scud, and that's the thing they're doing. They're just kicking down the line, not using the corridor like we've seen them use in the past.
Scores level. Ambler squeezed a handball out to Kinnico, quickly wrapped up, and Ambler's going to come back over the shoulder to Ambler.
Jacobson's back on now. They've fixed up his calf, his leg, his boots. Everything's taped up like the hilts at the moment.
So Connor Ambler. Now they decide to switch it to Membry. And Scolter's going off the bench. They're going to get one here. Brown. They've got Dunbar. If he finds him, he's going to go short to Halliburton. Dunbar's still on. He should get this, Dunbar, and he does now. Halliburton found him. Inboard handballs. Oh, he could have released it to Brown. Elected to kick it. Hugs the boundary line. Going to go down Chug's throat again, isn't it? Chug's there. Couldn't complete the mark. He's close to the boundary line. He keeps it in. He's like a cat. Gives it to McMillan. And McMillan's kick straight down McMahon's throat of the opposition. Bit of a dust up in front of the cam bar.
So McMahon now goes to true centre half forward. That kick's not much better. Thomas drops the mark though. Grab there at ground level. Flying shot on goal was from Neoculus. Cut off in the goal square though.
It's paid in the back.
And the free kick will go the way of Jacob Thomas for Wonthaggi Power in the defensive goal square. He gets told to play on for no apparent reason. Dishes a handball off and Power now use the ball. Well, I was going to say but they've missed a target on the outlet kick. D'Angelo gets in there. Willerton gets in there for Traralgon, and they'll do well to hold it in, although he's paid a push in the back against Willerton, who was a little overly enthusiastic. And it'll be Bates who takes the kick. He goes wide. Mark taken there by Williams. Plenty of it last week. Williams a little quieter this week.
Yep.
Half-back flank, he assesses the options, then just goes thump as long as his leg can. And you're going to assume McInnes will be underneath this somewhere. He flies from 3 deep. Probably almost had enough of it. The players stopped and the umpire waved her arms and said, play on. And now she calls for a ball up.
Traralgon will be good enough to get numbers back too. So they're really thwarting that effort to come in forward from Wonthaggi. They're getting killed on the half-forward line, Wonthaggi. They've got to do something right now to get that right.
So Bates just grabs it, dumps it to that half-forward line. McGuinness can't complete the mark. Goes to ground. They jump on top of him, and the umpire will ball it up.
Scud, if McGuinness marks that, they had no one back at all apart from Lindsay inside their forward 50. They've got to get numbers forward. Otherwise, they're going to get smashed. They're going to get hurt in the rebound.
Well, I think this is what they like, though, Boxer. They like it to be a 1-2-8 type of scoreline. They don't want it 8 goals to 7 goals halfway through the second.
And it's been a win for Wonthaggi because obviously Traralgon have a lot of play inside their forward 50. Haven't scored. Wonthaggi have got it on their terms at the moment.
Scores locked up, all level. 12.5-minute mark of this second quarter for the Moe Racing Club. Their Cup Days on Friday, 18th of October. Book your hospitality tickets now.
That's been you, Scotty.
We've got a free kick on the outer side. We'll go Wonthaggi's way to Bates. The Moe boys will have a big day if they can just get through a couple of games of footy and play in a grand final. They'll have a big day, that's for sure. But back here, one of these sides will face Moe next week. Jacobson takes the mark, kicks it high into the middle of Ted Summit and reserve. No one can mark it, a big fist. Hayes is there, gets it on the left, kicks around the body. Dangerous spot, 2-on-1. And the 2 wins. Membry takes the uncontested mark.
So Membry 25-30 metres out from his own goal. Bites off a bit of attacking football here, and we like this as he comes wide out and finds Halliburton. Halliburton uses his wheels, kicks long down the line. They've stuck one out the back of the contest here, and can Reuters run onto it? He's got there for company with him Jackson Williams. Kai Reuters does well, keeps the ball alive, pops a little hairball up there to a teammate in Jackson McMahon. McMahon's kick, though, goes wide. It's high, it's wide, but it's not really handsome. It's out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a Wonthaggi Power free kick. Good transition footy there. Just not quite the finish they're after.
Fantastic. That was great play there. A-grade netball update here. Thanks to Harvey Normal Furniture, Gippsland, Druin 22. They lead Bairnsdale 16 in the A-grade.
So interesting that Traralgon have got obviously the loose one back, but Jackson Williams is the one who's gone back for Wonthaggi.
I don't mind that at all.
All right.
Williams is good.
So bringing this ball back into the field of play is Knowles. High kick. McGuinness will fly, but in the front spot, Patterson takes the mark, looks up. He's going to come down the line. Bray's there in a mismatch with Brown. Membry comes over the back, but Bray was too strong and too tall. Open forward line, get it in quick. Lindsay's going to run onto this one. He goes towards Jack Blair. One hand up, comes back in board. Blair from 50, chips it over the top. Marsh is in a right spot, gets to the back. Lindsay's got one. He'll give it off to Murray. He'll give it back to Bates. And somehow Bates gets a ball to boot and puts it through. A goal for the Power against the trend. And the Power get one.
Scud, what a great call, mate. Well done. They had all the players there as well, and you nearly anticipated the actual outcome. In the end, it was somebody else, but it was going to happen. Well, you said Lindsay, but Lindsay was on his own. But they had numbers forward, didn't they, Scotty?
And it's the first time Boxers have come this side.
This side, and they've played it well. Good goal there by the Power.
And takes the lead back, does Wonthaggi Power at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter on the Murray Racing Club scoreboard. Wonthaggi at 2-2-14, leading Traralgon 1-8.
Stat for you, Paul Carter. Pleasantries exchanged in the commentary box. First time this year. Traralgon win the ball through the middle of the ground initially, but there's a big tackle laid there and the ball will be called back in by the umpire for a secondary stoppage. Slightly favouring the Traralgon scoring end. It was Ambler in there up against Jack Blair. And Bray will do the ruck work here. Jacobson wins a tap down. Young O'Connor comes in, puts his head over the footy. Well played, young man. Doubles back with a nice big tackle. Good work from the young fella in only his second final. 16-year-old kid out there having a crack at the big league. We love to see it.
That's a two-goal kick then, wasn't it? By Wonthaggi?
Against the Breeze, absolutely. That's how you kicked in last week where you run and carry. That's how you got to kick him today as well.
Bray doing more of the ruck work here in the second quarter.
And that's what I want to see more of. Run and carry, grab your yardage and go. Just get it down forward.
Jacobson wins attack. Can't get it clear. Rick O'Shea, the old Irish import, comes in handy every now and again. Ball squirts into the Traralgon forward 50. Umpire stalks. Both umpires stalk, looking for a free kick. And just as Traralgon were off to the races, the umpires come in and say, give me the footy. And it'll be McKenna doing the ruck work here against Bray. Bray gets it boundary side. D'Angelo gets his hands on it. Ball gets flicked up there to Hourigan. He comes back via the hands. They've set it up well here. D'Angelo goes forward, then gets a handball over to Tripodi. Ball stays live in that pocket. And the umpire finally concedes it's over the line. And we'll ball this one in around 25 around from the goals.
Yeah, it's tough. These conditions are tough, but like right now, Wonthaggi have taken their opportunities. They're just got to keep running down that line here.
Nick Lucchino for Carper Country this afternoon. Ball back into play. Hourigan, outward handball towards D'Angelo. Oh, he lowered the shoulders. He wanted one over the shoulder, and he's going to get it.
Got it.
When you slide down, and D'Angelo does that a little bit, but it's a professional one. It's a free kick.
It was there. It was definitely there. He did play it a little bit. A lot of mayo, yeah, we know. But in these type of conditions right now, you're going to try and play for everything you can get inside forward 50. The thing about D'Angelo right now, we know he's a good kick on the run. It's that set shot that lets him down right now. The wind's going to play a big havoc for his kicking style.
Have to kick it about 48 metres. Louis D'Angelo comes in on its way. It's low. It's on line. And yes, sirree, it's through the middle. D'Angelo gets one back quickly. It's a good response for the Maroons.
I'd say you stick it up, Boxer. It isn't it way, Louis, because at the moment I wouldn't have thought he would have done that as well. So a great kick, a great finish, evens the score up as well. They've taken their opportunity inside 50, but it's very, very, very rare. They've got to actually back it up now with another one to really put that pressure on Wonthaggi.
And the scores are level again. We're at the 18-minute mark of the second quarter. The Murray Racing Club scoreboard has both teams sitting on 2-2-14.
So back in the middle we'll go. It'll be Bray up against Jacobson. The umpire tosses it in the air. Bray gets up in the air, can't win the ball. Hourigan doing some groundwork in there, flicks a little handball to D'Angelo. He laces one out to the top of the square. Chug drops what he should have taken. Important ball to be won here at ground level. They crack in from both sides. And it's Knowles with his head over the footy, just killing the contest there for the Wonthaggi Power. Really good forward 50 clearance there from the centre of the ground. Gives Traralgon a chance to go back-to-back here. McKenna with the ruck work, flicks it down out the back. D'Angelo gets it. Sparks latches onto it from Power, hacks the ball forward. Big Jacobson goes back and drops what he should have taken. And then Bray tries to take on 19 tacklers.
Wow.
And the umpire says, you can't do that. You've dropped the prune. Free kick will go the way of Hourigan from Traralgon. He brings the ball to the scoring side. Brave kick, I like it. Out the back was Leprez. He put one mitt round it, couldn't swallow the footy. Another high tackle in the forward 50.
You pay
and
one.
a little bit of mayo afterwards.
A little bit of mayo.
Yeah, I reckon they've paid a cut one early, and now all of a sudden they're all doing it. I don't like the dropping down of the knee
And
try
not,
and get one over the
and
shoulder.
not inside 50 as well. When the games are this tight, umpires are going to make that decision. I know it's a split-second decision, but think about the game in its entirety. Your decision could make the actual outcome of the game.
You got to watch the knees.
You have to watch the knees. But anyway,
when it's all said and done, it's Jackson McMahon, ball in hand. No real angle to speak of. About 35 out. We're on the perfect angle here. We'll be able to tell straight away off his shoe. McMahon comes in. Right leg,
Bang.
right goalpost. A little bit of right to left, and that's 2 in 2 minutes for the Maroons. They're up and about, the boys.
Yeah, gave the old fist pump to the old can bar there. Usually it's the old Lions can bar, but it looks like a few Traralgon people are there this afternoon as well. And again, 2 free kicks inside 50 for Traralgon. They've made the most of that opportunity as well. This is where Wonthaggi have really got to tighten up now as well. The decision-making outside of the defensive 50 have let them down a little bit now. I know the moments like this they're probably frustrated with, but right now they've got to really focus now on the last part of this quarter.
Traralgon take the lead for the first time in the match at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Murray Racing Club scoreboard has Traralgon 3-2-20, leading Wonthaggi 2-2-14.
Hourigan key in the middle there. That last goal, Scuddy's in there again for this stoppage.
Yeah, he certainly is. He is the player that can go anywhere that his side needs, and he is certainly lifting. As Jacobson again gets the tap down, goes forward, trying to run onto his Ambler, Bates with a handle over the shoulder. There is Hourigan fighting for it, trying to keep his feet. They can't get it going forward. Sparks got slung around. Hourigan and Sparks fight with Ambler.
It's like a rugby scrum at the moment in there as well. There's every player you can think of is going for that tackle, so there is a lot of passion in this game right now from both sides.
It's hot and it's tight, as you'd expect in first semi-final day. Sparks gets a free kick over the shoulder. And they go to him as well. And Blair says, get off our star midfielder. And Ambler goes down with a little one to the midriff from Jack Blair. And he's just going to be left there as Sparks now plays on. Right foot kick goes towards Murray over the back. Lopez has just rolled back for a moment to stop this one. Ambler still down, by the way.
Doing the downward dog in the middle of the ground.
Well, it is a Sunday. As you kick it to the outer side, Lopez, front spot out there is the loose man for the power in Williams. Ambler finally up on his feet, looking around for jumper number 53, and he points to him. And Ambler and Blair go to each other, and nothing, no, a little bit of a push and shove. Meanwhile, the kick goes down the line. Jacobson takes the mark. And now he'll switch it, did Big Max. Out towards Neocleus. He's got one further afield in Chance Daltrey, and he's got a bit of space. Jared Blair will close. Daltrey takes the mark. Looks up. Sculters is there if he wants him. It's an ambitious kick. Goes towards. Great hands by Dunbar. And Huey Dunbar will look to go down the line. Lopez is there. He's the target and will take a mark unopposed. Outside 50, Big Dill. I don't think he's got the distance. He's right on 50. He keeps it low. He pierces it. And the Zambrero. No. It's touched on the line.
7-point lead to Traralgon. We've played 23 minutes of the second quarter. 3-3-21 to 2-2-14. Murray Racing Club scoreboard.
Jackson Williams actually celebrated like he kicked a goal when he actually saved the goal. So it was incredible that Wonthaggi were very happy with that save. And it was a great save too, because that would have been an absolute ball biter.
That'll be O'Connor bringing it back into play. Wasn't that Peter Philandia back in the day? And he gets the ball outside defensive 50, and it stacks on the mill, and the umpire will come in. I wish the umpire would come in here and blow the whistle every now and again and tell us to calm down.
He'd be showing yellow cards.
So the ball gets tossed up on the half-back flank. Jacobson unopposed, gets it down to Ambler. Ambler's kick goes into the forward 50. Chug comes out, drops the mark. Bray down there picks it up and goes woof, but he goes straight into the guts of the opposition player, Cunico. He picks it up and goes towards the skipper in Leprez. He's wrapped up in a big tackle. And the umpire comes in and will ball this one up 40 out from the Traralgon goal. We tick over 24 minutes here. A late score here to Traralgon, who lead by 7, would be huge in the context of this game. And they're every chance. Jacobson gets his hands on it, gets down there towards Cunico, but taps away from him. Blair cracks in at one direction. McMahon comes in from the other direction.
Gee, it's hot. It is that physical out there at the moment. No one is taking a backward step. There's nowhere to hide. And there's bodies being crunched left, right and centre. 24.5-minute mark. Margin sits at 7. Trying to fight at ground level is Neocleus. And the umpire will do it again, Box.
They will, mate. And they've got a day difference in regards to recovery at the moment because Traralgon had that day extra, so they can really show it now.
Quick handball from Willardon to Neocleus. Snap around the body. He's going to go to the last line. Standing there, though, Fergus O'Connor takes the mark on the last line. Moe Racing Club second quarter action here on TRFM. Great to have your company. It's Gippsland Live, bringing you all the finals action of the Alinta Energy Gippsland League.
Scott, I feel like Wonthaggi want to defend this score at the moment. There's still, they're 7 points down at the minute, so they need to get a goal before they do this.
Tommy McMahon plays on, steps around McMillan, unloads from 45, kept it skinny. In fact, it was that skinny, it was out of bounds on the full.
So if you're going to defend this sort of lead from Traralgon, Wonthaggi, they need to get a goal back, so they've got to be an even peel coming into that third quarter.
So O'Connor off a step, gets it outside defensive 50. Bray the target. Whack comes in from 3 deep, keeps the ball active for Traralgon. They get out the back here, though, the Power, and they could be off to the races. And if they pick the target,
Murray.
They miss the target. The handball just needed to find a bit of body there, and they were off. And it would have been Thomas McMillan. He's got some good wheels on him, the young fella. They wouldn't have caught him.
Blood rule again. Is it Blair again? He's been sent off.
Can they just tape him up? For the love of God, it's 2 weeks in a row. I'll go down there. I'm going down there.
No, you're not. Stay in the box, Nick.
Well, it's 3 weeks in a row. Same arm. It's ridiculous. In the end of the day, the umpire's picking him for him right now. The emergency umpire said to him last week, you're fine, but it wasn't obviously fine. Tape your arm up, son, now. Yes, there's his elbow.
Oh, I don't think they will. Boundary throw in, 26 and a half minutes gone. Jacobson in the front spot. Thomas out the back. Hayes gave it to Blair. Blair kicked around the body to half forward. Murray goes up. Scolter stood strong. Shrugged a tackle. Got a handball out wide. Nearly picked off, and it was in the end by Hayes. Gives it to McMillan. Back to Sparks. He's wrapped up and slung around. Holding the footies to the umpire. Advantage paid. It gets to Lopez on the wing. He wants to wheel and go quickly. Can he find a targeting board? No. Blair takes the mark on the wing, and Blair does not even want to look to switch it. Chug wants it. Schultz wants it. Knowles wants it on the switch. And the coach said, Jared Blair, I'm going down the line. Back to where it came from. Sparks in the front spot takes a strong mark. 27 minutes gone. Moe Racing Club second quarter. The chip kick from Sparks turned over to Tommy McMahon.
Yeah, the young fella McMahon's done well to pick that off, but I would rather they go a little bit longer and give themselves a chance to kick a goal if they do take a mark. And McMahon just kicks it back from whence it came. And the big boys will all fly. It gets out the back of the contest here. Big Bray puts his head over the footy and pops a handball back into space. Dangerous spot to turn it over if they do turn it over indeed. And it's going to go Traralgon's way through Cunico. He gets a B-grade bounce, but Willardon lays a big tackle to stop the Power progress. And we'll ball it up in between the two centre circles box.
Around the grounds, all thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture box up.
Yeah, in the A-grade it is drawn now, 26-25. A real tight one in the A-grade game.
Ball up, ball down. Finds grass. Sparks picks it up, pops a little handball out there to Hayes. Hayes goes to that half-forward flank. Schultz cracks in. Schultz cracks in and doesn't get rid of it. And the umpire says free kick. McInnes gets up, plays on straight away. Probably wishes he hadn't have in retrospect because the kick stinks. And the ball stays outside defensive 50. And Traralgon just pile on now. It's their turn to defend for 30 seconds or so. And they get numbers back behind the footy.
This was a brain fade by then by Cooper. I think he just needed to really steady the ship there. And they had it inside, 60 out from goal, steady the ship.
So Bray gets a backhander onto it. Tripodi lays a tackle on Hayes. No one able to get the ball clean. Umpire says play on like they're not trying. And the ball goes far side of the ground. Traralgon now with hands. And the ball will be stopping out there. Box, what have you seen?
Yeah, young Joel Scoltes has come off for Traralgon holding his left shoulder. Not a good sign there for the young fella as well. And for Traralgon, especially if he's hurt. He had the job on Cooper McGinns. It might have been that contest that we spoke about that McGinns got the free kick from as well. I'll keep an eye on that.
Boundary throw in. Thomas in the front spot. Tiziani was there. Squeezed a handball to Hayes. Gets it out wide now to Sparks. Twisting, turning. Got tackled by Ambler. Gets it out wider now. The quick kick from Knowles goes down the line. Whack! Hovers above McGuinness and takes the mark. And now they want to switch and run to the Maroons. Does it get to Brown? He's got to get around Murray. He does by hand. Membry, though. The handball missed him. Murray's going to close. Holding the footy.
Siren.
Siren sounds. And it's before the tackle. So it wasn't paid. Membry's got out of one. Very, very lucky.
Saved by the bell.
Exactly, and it is half-time in the Gippsland League, first semi-final. It's Traralgon 3-3-21, leading Wonthaggi 2-2-14. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in the quarter. They have got some injury concerns, though. Skolter's just gone off with a shoulder. But it is tight. It's tough out there. And there's still a half a game to go. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM. Across Gippsland and the Valley, it's great to have your company on your Sunday afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. This is an absolute belter. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman, Electrical Gippsland.
Oh, we've finally made it. It's the first week of the finals. Let's have a look at the top 5. Starting us off at number 1, Noah Anderson from Wonthaggi here. Great creative stuff. He kicks this mid-air, though. A fantastic finish.
Well read and quickly got ball to boot. In a blink of an eye, Wonthaggi have got 2.
Number 2, it's Ryan Sparks here from Wonthaggi. He gets the hand pass out of the back and big snap for the goal.
Handball off there with teammate in Sparks. And the best man on the ground kicks the best goal of the day.
Number 3, it's Chance Daltrey here from Traralgon. In blustery conditions, he unloads from beyond the arc and sends it home.
He gives it to Daltrey. Comes back onto the right foot. Thumps it high and long. Breeze might bring this back beautifully from a standing start, if you don't mind. That's the spark the Maroons want, and it's come from Chance Daltrey.
That's a thumping kick.
Coming in at number 4, it's Lucas Tripodi here from Traralgon. Just gets the hand pass and shapes this one through. Lovely, lovely stuff.
Might own Cafe Aviva, but he might have a Zambrero burrito in his hand.
Yeah, perfect build-up for...
Number 5, it's Max Woodall here from Moe. We saved the best for last. Look at him go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3. Can he get a 4th? He does. He lines it up. Is it home? Oh yeah. Max Woodall was cooking.
It's one of the best we've seen all year. And the youngster in Max Woodall, take your hat off to that. A running, bouncing goal. There's none better in this game of footy.
Quarter. I think for Traralgon, Louis D'Angelo's been everywhere. I really liked his in and under style of game, but then he also gets outside and uses the ball well, hits the scoreboard for Traralgon as well. So a couple of the better players for each side. The ruck battle's been a fascinating one for me. I think Wonthaggi looked better when Bray went into the ruck. I really like Bray's work around the ground, and it allows them to have the man with 2 first names, Jacob Thomas, to go back and play as a key defender as well, which was really important. That second half, or that second quarter, you had Hamilton forward, you had Hourigan forward, you had Wack go forward at different points in time. You've got Leprez, who's always down there as a presence, so Wonthaggi probably needed that extra tall defensive player just to cover off those options for the Traralgon side. Interestingly enough, the Wonthaggi goal into the breeze that quarter was the only time they came broadcast side. They've kicked attacking side. They were forced into it because the kick out on the full from McMahon meant that they had to take the kick this side. Chug took the kick. The first thing he did was look to go far side. When that was shut down, they went 4 possessions down the broadcast side and then scored at the other end. Now, the goal a little bit fluky, I agree, but what they did was give themselves an opportunity to move the ball that rapidly and hit the scoreboard going into the breeze. And Traralgon tried that in the first quarter. Be really interested to see if they try that in the third quarter.
Yeah, very well summed up there, Scotty. Of course, here for Carpet Country this afternoon. Thank you very much. And now here's some of the key stats. It is the halftime wrap, thanks to Gippsland Mowers. Paul Carter.
No doubt about that. The South Street end is the favoured end by the breeze. Wonthaggi won the inside 50s 12-8 in the first quarter. Traralgon won at 14-4 in the second. So the Maroons lead that set 22-16 to half-time. Clearances 48 all combined. So it's very different to yesterday's game. 25 to Traralgon, 23 to Wonthaggi. Traralgon won the centre clearances 4-1 to this stage. Free kicks 18 to Traralgon, 3 of which were out in the full. Wonthaggi's had 21 free kicks, also 3 of which were out on the full. Traralgon has had more marks than Wonthaggi, 47 to 29, 8 contested marks apiece, 4 marks inside 50 to Traralgon and 1 to Wonthaggi. From set shots, Traralgon have kicked 3-3 with 3 out in the full and Wonthaggi just the 2 behind, and Traralgon's and Wonthaggi's total score has all come from turnovers. The Battle of the Ruckman, Max Jacobson, 25 hit-outs to half-time, 14 and 11 or his 2 quarters. Up mainly against Shannon Bray, who has 14 hit-outs to half-time. Jacob Thomas, 6. Dan McKenna filled in there for a little bit in the second quarter. He's had 4 hit-outs to the half-time break. As Scotty did say, Louis D'Angelo playing a great game. 16 disposals to half-time, 9 in the first, 7 in the second. He's had 11 kicks, 5 handballs, 3 marks, 5 clearances and 4 inside 50s. Ty Hourigan, 10 disposals, 12 to Connor Ambler, who had 6 in both quarters, 9 to Jordan Cunico, 8 to Jackson McMahon, 7 to Chance Daltrey. For Wonthaggi, Josh Bates and Isaac Chug, both 11 disposals. Ryan Sparks, 6 disposals in the second quarter. He's up to 10 to half-time, 8 to Jack Blair, 6 to Jared Blair, 5 to Aidan Lindsay.
Thanks very much, Paul Carter. That's all the halftime wrap, thanks to Gippsland Mowers. A quick update for you around the grounds. We'll get you up to speed with what happened earlier here today. In the first semi-final action, we'll start off with the football in the under-16s. Maffra, 14-8-92. defeated Bairnsdale 4-7-31. In the under-18s, it was Maffra also 13-11-89, defeating Traralgon 2-1-13. In the reserves, Maffra again. They've had a good day on the footy oval, 8-11-59, defeating Sale 2-4-16. All the football sides for Maffra progressing. While for netball, 13 and under saw Moe defeat Traralgon. 15s had Traralgon defeating Moe. The 17s was Bairnsdale over the top of Sale, 41-36. C grade, Maffra 37, defeat Wonthaggi 27. B grade saw Traralgon 43, defeat Leongatha 36. And in A grade netball, it's still currently being played at the moment, and it sees a Bairnsdale and Druin 35-36. That game might actually just be gone three-quarter time, I think it is. So there might be still 1 quarter to go there, and it's a 1-goal margin in the favour of Druin, 36 to Bairnsdale's 35. That pretty much gets you up to speed with everything that's happening at the moment around Gippsland. Of course, we've got a half of football to go here on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be an absolute belter. It's a 7-point margin at the moment at half-time in favour of the Traralgon side. 3-3-21 to Wonthaggi 2-2-14. It is Gippsland Live. We're going to take a quick break, and the third quarter action's coming up after these messages. Yeah, welcome back. Someone's going to win and progress into a prelim final. They're going to face off against the Moe Lions, who the whole club is here, and they are watching who they're going to be playing in next week's prelim final. That will be played at Traralgon as well. So if the Maroons get over the line, they've got a home final next week. Of course, Lee and Gather were dominant yesterday, and they've booked their first spot into the 2024 Gippsland League Grand Final. Boxer's back into the commentary box, and he was down there at halftime in both the rooms finding out some info. I can let you know something you may not have found out, Boxer. I just had a text message come through. Unfortunately, Joel Scholters has a dislocated shoulder, and they believe it's a broken collarbone as well.
Yeah, they're working on him when I was down there in the Traralgon rooms. I went there second. I went to the Wonthaggi rooms first, and they were pretty actually calm, the Wonthaggi group. They were pretty happy with the quarter in regards that the scoreboard didn't reflect that as well. But each group had their focus points for Traralgon. They really worked hard on making sure that they had to do the job they had to do. Like Apollo Creed once said in Rocky 3, there is no tomorrow, right? So for one of these sides, there is no tomorrow. So they have to play like that now.
Only
right?
2 scoring shots to the scoreboard end,
Yeah.
8 scoring shots to the other end. They're going to have to make the most of it this quarter, aren't
100%, and it is. And I think the clear message was that now. So there is no tomorrow for either side. The third quarter is the premiership quarter in footy, Scotty. We know that. We've been around a long time. Well, I have. A bit longer than you. But at the same time, I think the upside now is for Traralgon for me. They looked a little bit more resolute in that quarter, and I think if they bring that attitude in this quarter here, they've made a few changes in the midfield again. They're happy to make those changes. I think with Hourigan now going back, it's going to be one of those quarters where Wonthaggi need to get on top very, very early.
Just keep an eye on that loose man back. They haven't started the quarter, and you don't sort of show your hand too early, but Traralgon have traditionally 6 defenders, 6 forwards, etc. But wouldn't be surprised once the ball bounced. Just keep an eye on particular players, maybe a Dylan Lopez, or they might go someone a little bit smaller perhaps and then allow Hourigan to be loose. But don't be surprised if they roll one back in the third quarter. It is the third quarter for McDonald's, and the game is underway, and Jacobson with a tap down. Bates was in there and just got ball to boot. It trickled out of that stoppage. The Oakley's was there. Beelining that footy was D'Angelo. Schultz comes from the other direction, does well, ground level. And the umpire will ball it up. So all of a sudden, Halliburton rolls back, Boxer.
Yep, he'll just roll back off the
wing.
line.
He was off the wing, and Chance Daltrey's come up from the forward who's playing a wing. So there's your loose man created already. As Jacobson tapped it over the back, and we'll have another stoppage.
So once he's done that, though, he's left Mitch Membry on his own. So he's taken the smaller opponent, and he's left Mitch on his own.
Exactly what we said.
So ball gets tossed up far side of the ground. Wonthaggi win the ball there through Sparks. Got to get a big second half out of him. And that spare man's back there, but not required. Membry goes up for it, but it's Hourigan that takes the mark. And good to see him come attacking side. God bless them. They come out here looking for and finding Tresham Wack. He goes via the hands to Cooper. They go back to Membry. He's got one down the line, a little one down the line. Will it get there? Not quite. Ball there to be won at ground level. They crack in from both sides. Strong tackle laid there by Dickinson. And we'll ball this one up just in front of the Traralgon coach's box on the attacking side.
Wonthaggi have rolled theirs forward as well now,
Yep,
Boxer.
They have. I was just about to say that too, Scudman.
So Ambler wins the ball off the stoppage, gets a handball off there to D'Angelo, but the boundary line wins the conversation. And we'll ball it in right in front of the coach.
And it's Lindsay as well. It's Lindsay who's gone back to pick up that spare.
Well, now they just roll it back the other way, though, Boxer, when there's a stoppage here. Now Dickinson is on his own down back, so I'd be rolling it forward. I'd be even the numbers out. Brown off the back of this stoppage wins it with a sweeping handball out wide to Marsh, and Marsh goes direct towards Lopez. Can't complete the mark. Chugg has been enormous. Handballs over the top. Willerton with a little bit of pace. Knowles is there to give it to Chugg. Chugg gives it back to Knowles. Knowles going to get run down by Reuters. Holding the footy, driven into the ground.
That was huge play there too. Willerton had a big part of that too.
Reuters goes over the top to the other speedster in Willerton. They have got pace to burn, these boys. And the umpire just says to Willerton, get back around the mark. Just call play on if he's not on it. Willerton puts it to the top of the square. Big pack. Jacobson, he's plucked it out of nowhere at his hip level. Just said, I want that footy and I want the shot on goal, Big Maxi.
It's incredible. Traralgon had 4 players in front then, so they could have actually raffled it to that point, but the ball held up. So Wonthaggi were left actually wondering what the hell was going on. He was smart enough to be in front and take a great grab. And now he just needs to finish it.
This is a big moment of the game, all thanks to Metricon, Australia's number one builder, 8 years strong. As Jacobson comes in against the breeze, they lead by 7. This is all important. Directly in front, 35 out. Wind brings it back, not enough. It swung from left to right. It just missed. Paul Carter.
3-4-22 Traralgon on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. They lead now by 8 points over Wonthaggi, 2-2-14.
So Wonthaggi bringing in, and they come attacking side too. Initially it's O'Connor, and he finds down there in the back pocket Blair. Blair's kick comes up and finds Sparks on centre wing. And coming out of his back pocket holes, Chug, and they go thump right across the ground. Chug takes it, shoots off onto that left leg. His kick's not great off the boot, I don't think. Contest there, ball at ground level to be won. Boundary line will win the conversation. Fantastic to see Wonthaggi come this side, though, and open this game up, Box.
Yeah, small moments like that too. Thomas McMahon, what a spoil down back. One-on-one contest, gets the stoppage outside of his defensive 50. Great play.
Jackson Williams just didn't react quick enough when Chug had the footy. If he did, it would have landed on his chest.
So Thomas wins the tap, goes forward to the contest. Traralgon win at the ground level through Ambler. His little hack kick forward. He finds the big low press. He's up from the forward line. Now Cunico gets those yellow boots going. Left leg forward, looks for Hamilton out there in front of the cricket centre. Hamilton will just watch this one go over the boundary line, and Traralgon will look to reset.
I haven't seen Hamilton this afternoon at all. We've seen him play some pivotal parts for the Maroons this year as well, but he's been very, very well held. I know the conditions don't suit, and the entry inside 50 haven't been great, but need a lift from him for this second half.
Margin at 8. Ball back in. Jacobson gave it off to Marsh. Marsh is upside down. Drop punt. Chug's there. Although roving it was Neocleus. Squeezes a hand with a low press. Took on the tackler. One too many. That's holding the footy. And the Wonthaggi Power will get the ball. They've got the switch if they move it quickly. It's a 3-on-2. Schultz says no. I'll go the other way to Connor McMillan, the youngster. Half-back flank. Runs and carries. Drives it in. Goes over the back. Can't quite complete the mark. McNeil. They're going to pay it to Jackson McMahon. And McMahon looks up and wants everyone to go to the boundary side because that's where he's going to kick it. He's indicated, but he said, no, I'm going to square this one up to Membry.
You fell for it, Scud.
I did. Everyone said, go to the bottom side, and I'll go the other way. Membry's kick, dangerous. Bates will give a handball back to Lindsay, who gives it back to Blair. Come to the near side, they do. McMillan's the target. Got it. Looks up. Presenting, Murray's one. The deeper one is Williams. He goes sort of in between both of them, and it's easy for Ty Hourigan to do that all day, every day. Takes the mark and plays on. No one really pressured in on the mark. He kicks to half forward. Knowles has got the set. Big spoil. Ground level McMillan. Attacked it with pace. Left foot dumping kick. Inside 50. Spare man for the Maroons. Hourigan's back. Good tackle by McGuinness. They're up to it though. McMahon to McMahon. It's Tom to Jackson. Whack gets a dodgy bounce. Williams says, I'll give it. Oh, great pick-off by Tommy McMahon. Now gives it to Hourigan, who just dumps it out towards Daltrey, and they get away with it on the Maroons.
And Daltrey's quick handball up there. Can't find a target either, so they're still under the hammer. Cooper goes in. He finds a little bit of space where there isn't any to Cunico. A cute little kick down the line to the bloke whose name I can't say. What is it, Scud? Reuters. He pops a handball over the top to D'Angelo. He puts some moves on. Brings the ball back inside, underground. Ball sits nicely, pops up there for Ambler. Ambler's handball over top to Cunico. Low tackle there by O'Connor. Ball comes out to Reuters. He pops a handball over the top to Ambler. Ambler's inside out, kicks a ripper. It's an A-grade kick and finds Hamilton in the pocket.
Just have more poise, the Maroons at the moment, down back, especially those couple of intercepts. They should have been certain goals for the Power. They're going to be ruining them in about 5 minutes' time because Hamilton... We've just talked about how bad he's been this afternoon. I'm saying bad in regards to hasn't had a kick. This is the kick they need. Only one kick will get you back into the game, young fella. Here it is.
So he's 30 out, hard up against the pocket, maybe 25 out by the time he kicks a tight angle. Ball could get stuck between the posts. Kick on its way. It's a UFO. It goes right across the face. And the man with 2 first names, Jacob Thomas, kills it, and we'll have a boundary throw in far side of the ground.
How bad were Wonthaggi inside there in regards to how they actually tried to finish that goal off? How good were Traralgon, though, to intercept?
Yeah, they were very good. And they stopped the forward thrust. Now they've got a chance at the other end of the ground, the Maroons. McKenna with a tap down. Attacked it hard there. Was Daltrey, end up kicking it backwards. Dunbar went back and took the mark and then dropped it. Gives it to Neocleus. Now to Jackson McMahon. A outside banana, inside 50.
No.
Lopez has plucked one with one hand. And the big fella normally takes 2. Today it's 1. Big Dill.
I'll tell you right now, Scott, if he kicks this goal, this is my contender for the Zambrero goal of the day, only because of the effort he put in for the mark.
Well, it's not a goal.
Firstly, if he kicks it, I'd said if.
But you can't get a Zambrero goal today for a good mark.
And he kicks the goal.
Dylan Lopez.
He gets the whole package.
8-minute mark, third quarter. Breeze brings it back
to him.
nicely.
Give him the voucher.
It's not a Zambrero goal today contender, but the crowd like it all the same as Lopez gets his first of the afternoon.
Can I have the music, please, Dan?
Not a chance.
No, it was a good finish. Good mark, though, as well. It does deserve at least an accolade to say a great finish there by the leader of this Maroon side.
And Traralgon go out to a match-high 14-point lead at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter, all against the Breeze, 1-1. Wonthaggi haven't kicked anything with it this quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Traralgon 4-4-28, Wonthaggi 2-2-14.
So big Max goes up against Thomas. Thomas wins it, and Max grabs hold of him. And the umpire says, let's do it all again, folks. Ball has not left the circle. Umpire shows why he umpires, because he doesn't catch the ball thrown back to him. And he'll come in and toss this one back into the air again. The two big boys go at it. No one able to win it cleanly. Thomas picks it up and hacks it forward. Extra numbers back, favour Traralgon. And Hurrigan takes the simplest of marks. Outlet kicks a cracker. And he finds his man out there in Tripodi. Tripodi's kick down the line. Showed a little bit of it there to Gilmore, but the mark's still taken. And they'll just settle things down through D'Angelo. His little kick's a cracker also. And they find the ball there in the hands of Neocalis.
Just think there's a bit of confusion.
There's confusion. There's definitely confusion down back for Wonthaggi because, down forward for Wonthaggi.
Well, there's confusion with the kick because the bloke from Traralgon's put it straight down the guts of the ruckman for Wonthaggi, and Thomas has got it on the half-back flank. Dangerous kick, opens it up to Chug. Chug now got one more on out this side, and he uses it, and he finds Dickerson.
Lindsay's on.
A little short one on here, and he uses that as well. Cooper shuts it down well, though. Great defensive work from the young fella coming in, getting a hand on it, killing the contest, and then just runs into the boundary umpire and says, how tough am I?
Yeah, their effort's good. The Maroons' effort's really good. They're really working hard, closing off that space that Wonthaggi like to have. They've closed it off this afternoon.
Ball comes back in. Jacobson with a tap down. Blair into the ground. Over the shoulder. Free kick's going to go to Blair. Now, Wonthaggi do have the numbers back now, so it all is one-on-one at the moment. I think that's the way they're going to play it, kicking with the breeze. Blair chips it up to McGuinness. Wack will fly and defend. And not just defend, he plucks it over the top. A good mark by Wack at half-back. He'll chip it over the top to Willardon. He can take the mark and give it to D'Angelo or back to Wack. He goes to the ladder and Wack goes, bang, inside 50 again. Lopez is there. Body work's good. He's done another one. The right hand on one time. This time it's the left hand. He'll play on quickly and he'll thump it at goal and he'll put it through. No. It's thumped through by Dickerson for a minor score.
And Traralgon now lead by 15 points at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Traralgon 4-5-29. Wonthaggi still on half-time score of 2-2-14.
They play on straight away and come attacking side, but they've turned it over. And Chance Daltrey has got the ball for Traralgon. He brings it inboard. Mark taken there by Hurrigan. About a kick and a half from home. Plenty of humans between him and the goal, so he bombs it in long.
Lopez
sets himself from behind, but the big man Thomas goes up, can't complete the mark, falls down there to Bates. Bates reels, kicks back down to where it came from. Hurrigan again, they're playing kick to kick. He thinks he's in the backyard. Hurrigan's little kick this time finds some space, but it's cut down beautifully by Bates, and we'll have a boundary throw in. I just want to say, Scott, you sounded like a Batman comic just then. You said whack goes, bang goes, boom. And we got a minor score out of it all.
5 marks to Hurrigan this quarter.
Yeah, they've got to work that out. They've got to either stretch it or go around him. Because it's 11 minutes into the third quarter and we know everything's on the line. And the Power trail by 15 points at the moment, kicking with the breeze.
But kudos to Traralgon too. They're putting the pressure on, so not allowing them to actually switch the play like they like to do. They're actually forcing them to kick down the line. The big bomb kicks inside 50 is made up there for
the Maroons. Have been awesome today, and they go inside 50 again. Delangelo tries to get it towards Hamilton. And now the three defenders, although Wonthaggi confused each other, and somehow Chug got a handball to O'Connor. The outlet kick on the far side towards Williams. And Tom McMahon closes, tackles strong. Umpire says, holding the footy. It wasn't a great deal of prior, but Tommy McMahon's closing speed and tackle was good. He wants to play on quickly, full of running the Maroons. Risk and reward is high. Membry's kick.
Whoa.
Went down to Knowles. He stood strong and took the mark. He comes back inboard and he's found Lindsay.
Lindsay just shy of centre. He rolls and comes to the middle to Bates. Bates in the centre circle. Dishes a handball off to Sparks. Sparks goes kick into the open forward 50. Ball bounced in front of Gilmore. And Hourigan, the ever-present Ty Hourigan, rushes it over and says that'll just be one behind.
Wonthaggi's first score for this quarter, 2-3-15. Traralgon 4-5-29.
I got an A-grade score. Final score in the A-grade here in the elimination final was Druin 52. They defeated Bairnsdale 43.
All thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland.
As McMahon brings it in with a long kick that finds centre wing, gets over the top of Jacobson. He flicks a handball out there looking for Neoclis, who overruns it. Power get their hand on it through Chug. His kick goes forward. No one able to take the mark. Big tackle laid down there by the sneaky good Mitch Hayes. Said his name a lot today. He doesn't really stand out, but he's been around the footy a lot, Hayes.
Thank God for Isaac. Chugger. I'll tell you what, the old Thomas Tank Engine, he's intercepted a fair bit this afternoon for the Power.
Jacobson tapped down towards the boundary and Sparks was there, gave it up to Reuters though. Tripodi it was. He handballed to his opponent in Blair and we'll have a stoppage. How much can Wonthaggi, now they've got to flick the switch and play really offensive football, so that will be the key. How attacking and risk and reward can they be? Is it in their nature?
Well, they're going to have to for the next 10 minutes of this quarter, otherwise they're going to be really against it because the confidence levels are up with Traralgon at the moment. They're putting a lot of pressure. They're stopping that spread they like to do right now, so they've got to find a different avenue.
This is a huge win for Traralgon in this quarter for the Maroons. They've got the one goal. It's the only goal, and it's against the breeze. And we've got another boundary throw in.
Another big observation at half-time. Moe had players and officials in either room listening to what was happening throughout that too as well. So they'll be looking at next week as well and seeing how this all pans out as well, Scudman.
So Thomas in the front spot, tapped it down. D'Angelo was good. Little scrubby kick forward. O'Connor meets it, gets tackled, lost the footy. Bates squeezed the handball out wide to Sparks. He comes back onto the right foot, kicks around the body, got dumped after he kicked it. Membry again has been strong and tall. At both ends of the ground, the key defenders have been good. Membry's kick, though, he just overcooked it. Bates came in and Ambler said, I'm not letting you go anywhere.
That's the difference. The turnover was there for Wonthaggi. The work rate of Traralgon allowed that to stop and make a stoppage as well.
So Jacobson gets a tap out the back towards Willetton. Willetton decides to shepherd for his teammate. Neoclis now runs on, flicks a handball there to Ambler. Ambler goes out to Kunico. Kunico brings it in. The big man McKenna's there, but the ball's not going to get that far. The wind really holding it up. And the mark taken down there by Fergus O'Connor, last line of defence. He brings it out the attacking side, looks for his hair twin in Gilmore. Gilmore marks on the half-back flank. He's going to have to steady the ship here a little bit, I think, and he just goes a little one down the line. The coach takes a grab and plays on. They've got one out here. Mark taken really nicely by Patterson. Been quiet today by his standards. He's got McInnes on one-on-one. Ball goes up. Big fish from behind. Front and centre. Great roving work and a snap on goal. Minor score only, though, to Jackson Williams.
13-point lead to Traralgon. We've played 16 minutes into the third quarter. 4-5-29 to Wonthaggi 2-4-16. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
I only just missed that one too. That would have been the contender, actually, the probably number one contender for the Zambrero's goal of the day while we still wait for the footy to come back, Scotty.
Would have been a bit of a fire starter for them too. They just need that spark. They need something to get them up and about, the boys. They don't look like they quite believe it. They're phoning it in at the moment.
The best on ground performer, all thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Make sure you head to Gippsland Isuzu Facebook page to scan and win as Membry goes to the outer side with a long kick out to Lopez. I tell you what, has he done it again? Surely not again. No, not on this occasion. The umpire said he has.
He's claimed it.
No, he has.
He said mine and the umpire said
you dropped it.
It's not.
So it's a ball up. Lopez can't believe it. He's having a bit of a purple patch with those one-handers. Williams now taking the ruck duties, but it went straight down to Cunico. He kicked around the body. Chug got one hand up, goes to the boundary. O'Connor's there. He'll just dump it back out towards his half-forward line. Aidan Lindsay comes out to meet it, and Membry shoves him and the ball over. We've got a boundary throw in. 17 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Scott, I did get an email last night from Ace Radio. My 72 entries are not valid in the competition.
Yes, exactly. And that is the Gippsland Isuzu $2,000 cash giveaway. We know you love Cash Boxer.
One for each earbox.
Yes, mate.
Ball back in. Front spot, Jacobson. Williams taking the ruck duties there. Out the back there, quick kick. Goes high for the power. And Patterson's got the sick, couldn't complete the mark. Dunbar does well, holds his ground and got one over the shoulder. I think did Dunbar. Tommy McMahon it is. And he comes inboard. It's a dangerous kick to Tripodi. Lots of power numbers around this one. And good work by Dunbar to wrap up Lindsay for a stoppage.
Got to take their chances, Scud, don't they? Inside 50. There was a perfect opportunity there for the Power. This is their only other chance, I believe, for this quarter. Come on.
Well, let's see they get it from the stoppage. It gets out wide. Cunico's been great. Gives a handball to Jacko McMahon. Hard up on the boundary line. Looking for touch and finding it.
Clever.
And we'll have a boundary throw in. 70 metres out now from Wonthaggi's goal. Time ticking.
Got to find a way to get McInnes in the game for me, the Power. He's busted his chops. He's run up and down the ground, but he's just not getting the ball forward in the forward 50.
Wack's been very good.
He has been very good.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's Big Max up against Little Jackson, and Max says, my footy, but the umpire says you can't push a little fella in the back, big man. So Williams will take the free kick about 70 from home. The umpire gets a protractor out and says you weren't on the right angle. So he moves him around, allowing just enough time for Traralgon to get every resident behind the footy. So he's got no choice but to go yuck kick into the forward 50, just dumps it in. Picked up far too easily there by Marsh, and he just kicks it back from whence it came. Cunico with one hand grabs it, but he's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Gets a handball backwards. They get the ball into the hands of Daltrey, and he's dumped in a DDT. And the umpire will come in and ball it up centre wing.
Scotty, poor play there by the Power as well. Hourigan was allowed to stay on his own inside 50, so he had really nowhere to kick, but they were all very, very flat-footed, especially Jack Blair. It's got to come out to you, Jackie.
Jacobson grabbed it out of the ruck, somehow got a handball away, but in the back against Neocleus. And the free kick's going to go Tiziani's way. Quickly plays on, goes to half forward, just on the top of the head there of McNeil. And taking the easy mark, Jacko McMahon. He's got two outlet kicks, Tripodi, and now look who's on his own. It's Hourigan. He can mark and give a handball to Brown if he wants. He doesn't. He waits, and he's cool under pressure. And now he's going to thump it in towards Hamilton and O'Connor. Body work from O'Connor. Gets to the front there. Lindsay left it behind. D'Angelo grabs it, wrapped up quickly. And we're going to ball up box.
Do we see the game differently these days? Because I haven't coached for 7 years, Scotty. How do you let a player like Hourigan or Wack or Isaac Chug or the players like this on their own, Cade Maskell, do their own thing?
Just a bit smarter than you back in your day. Blair gave a quick one to Hayes. Hayes goes left foot, drives to the top of the 50. The big fella, Thomas, can't complete the mark. Ground level there. It comes to Murray. Squeezes a handball to McGuinness. His handball missed his target. Sparks has to come back inboard. Right foot delivery is good to McNeil. At the toes. Good half volley. Hayes with a kick straight into the Traralgon defender. And Tommy McMahon gives it to his bro, to Jacko, who barrels one out to the outer side. Ball bounces straight up and down. Good tap there was from Cunico to allow Marsh to push it over. And the Traralgon defence stand tall again.
Now, the question was, Scud, before you were being a bit of a tool, was how do you let them go that way as a coaching staff to let those players roam free for so long?
My point is that you go to them, but they're just that smart that they get on their own.
That was the answer I was looking for.
So Jacobson just goes thump, but it only goes as far as Blair. His kick's spoiled, and Traralgon here off to the races through the middle of the ground. Sits nicely there for Daltrey, but he's wrapped up in a beautiful tackle by Jared Blair, the coach setting the example, and he'll pick the prune up right in the centre circle, and he comes out attacking side towards Knowles. Knowles got no one on immediately, so he goes to the long lead of Murray, gets in low, takes a nice little worm burner.
Jeez, it's crowded.
So Murray just gets onto that left leg, kicks out into the big man with two first names, and he says, LaPrez, if you can do it, so can I.
Paid it.
And he's paid the grab. And Jacob Thomas, the one-hander in the left mitt, will go back and have a shot for a much-needed Wonthaggi goal.
That's how you stop it, don't you, Scott? Get the ball inside quickly. Don't allow Hourigan to set up. Don't allow the spare players for the Maroons to set up. Get that one-on-one. Get that real mismatch right now. And Thomas needs to finish this goal right now.
22-minute mark of the third quarter. Wonthaggi get to kick a major this quarter, kicking to what we assume is a scoring end. Thomas comes in, right-hand goalpost, his friend. Goes straight over the goal umpire's lid and will raise the two white calicos. Much-needed goal for the Power.
Yeah, they've made the little move there too to put Thomas forward. They still haven't swung the switch there to put Bray into the ruck, or have they? No, he's still playing down back. So the little move here just to sort of stretch the Traralgon defence could work for them, but they've just got to get it in a lot quicker than they have. And right now, that worked. They just got to make sure they can mirror that again.
Wonthaggi's first goal for this quarter brings the margin into Traralgon's favour back to 7 points. 3-4-22 Wonthaggi, 4-5-29 Traralgon. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, 22 minutes played, third quarter.
Do you reckon it's unusual? Bray was nearly best on ground and he's not rucking now?
Yeah, interesting. They just obviously like the match-up down back, I think. In the middle they go again to the Maroons. Willerton drives it to half forward. Big pack Knowles will take the mark. The Power now just starting to get wrestle momentum. You just sense Williams, who's starting to give him a little bit for the Power. Williams looks up. Lindsay's short. He'll go to him, but he'll kick it over his head. And, well, that's got nothing to do with Hourigan. Unless it's a magnet.
Kick. It's a poor kick.
Unless it just gets attracted to him, because Hourigan takes another uncontested mark, drives it back and gives it straight back to Jackson Williams. Williams, I suggest you don't kick it to Ty Hourigan on this occasion. He decides to switch it. Inboard it goes. Murray stands tall, takes a mark. And the switch is on. Schultz is presenting on the outer side. Does it get to him on the full? It does. Gilmore breaks towards an open side. He might go over the top by hand. He decides to kick it towards the boundary line in the end. And it's a poor kick. But they get the boundary throw in around about the top of the 50 for him. 23 and 3/4 minutes gone. McDonald's third quarter. It's a 7-point margin.
I don't mind the kick, Scud. It just gets them into a dangerous spot there for their forwards.
I thought he had the handball to Gilmore. That was all. Sorry, Box.
It's all good.
Murray works hard. Good tackle by Daltrey. Another stoppage.
It's good to have this little bit of banter, Scud. We can always have our opinions.
Everyone's got one. They're similar to... No, don't say that. Jacobson tapped it over the back. Running onto this is Willerton. Look at the pace. One bounce. He draws the player. Handballs over the top to himself. And then he handballs it to a teammate. It's Halliburton. Now Tripodi. All of them have got wheels. They decide to kick. Reuters. Hamilton. Take your pick. Hamilton takes the mark. 40 metres out. And they want 50. No. Quickly plays on. He kicks to Cunico. Great football, Maroons. This could be a massive moment of the game. It's a big moment for Metricon, as Cunico will have a shot on goal. 24 and 3/4 minutes in the third quarter to get the margin back to 13. So Jordan Cunico, he's already got one this afternoon. It was set up by the runners. And now Cunico looks to finish. On its way, he's pushed it across the face and missed everything. Out of bounds on the full.
He's had a mare.
He has, definitely.
So no score, they quickly play on. Bray gets it.
So Bray in the back pocket there for Wonthaggi. Plenty of people between him and where he wants the ball to be, so he's going to have to go long down the line or bite off one, and he goes long down the line. The ruckman fly. McKenna from behind says, we'll have enough of this. Get it over the boundary line. We'll get it over the boundary line. We lead by 7. We're going to come home with the breeze, says the Traralgon full forward.
Interesting stat. 29 points is the all-time lowest score in a first semi-final, set in 1955.
Wow.
So the little boundary umpire tosses it back in, and he goes almost to the middle of the ground. Sparks the first one there to get to the ground level, goes back through the middle, gets a handball there to McMillan. McMillan's kick goes to the Bro.
Crunched.
The Bro wears one as he takes a mark. Nothing in that, just a footy incident.
Yeah, there's not much of him either too, so you'd be feeling every bit of that.
He dishes off a handball there to Murray. Murray come right up from the forward pocket to get involved this quarter. His kick goes high and wide. Mark taken there by Gilmore. Gilmore's looking for something in front of him. The little one's on if he wants that through the middle, but he says, let's go long as the siren sounds.
Nope.
No, the umpire's holding the play on. I thought both hands went up for the siren. The ball gets out the back. Touch play on. Play till the siren, Scott. Hourigan dishes the handball off there, and Traralgon will settle now across the half-back line through Cooper Brown. He goes back through the hands to Membry, back to Hourigan. There's plenty of Supercoach stats padding going on here. Traralgon messed that up a little, and the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
11 disposals by Hourigan this quarter. 7 marks.
Yep, and a couple of those have been kicked from the opposition straight down his throat. Wonthaggi have helped him get those touches. Ball back in. Tap down. There he is again. Willerton to Tripodi. These runners as Traralgon start to have an impact. O'Connor just beelined it. Came the other direction. Caught one high.
Big moment, Scud.
Yep. They were away, the Maroons then. And he stopped that forward thrust. I just sense, though, the Traralgon runners are just starting to have a bit of an impact. And in this last quarter, they're going to be very important. O'Connor kicked it straight to the man on the mark. They're going to go forward again, Traralgon. Daltrey goes lateral to Lopez. A forward handball back to Daltrey. Can he gather it clean? No. Bray comes the other direction. And now Schultz comes to help for the Power. A little chip kick, 9-9, over the top to Jack Blair as the siren sounds for 3 quarters are all done and in the book. 27.5 minutes it went. And it was 1 goal apiece. Traralgon 4-5-29. They lead the Power. 3 goals, 4-22. It's a 7-point margin at 3-quarter time. We've got 1 to go. And it's going to be an absolutely nail-biting finish to this first semi-final in the Alinta Energy Gippsland League. It's Gippsland Live. It's on TRFM. And it's all thanks to Harvey Norman, Electrical Gippsland.
Oh, we've finally made it. It's the first week of the finals. Let's have a look at the top 5. Starting us off at number 1, Noah Anderson from Wonthaggi here. Great creative stuff. He kicks this mid-air though. A fantastic finish.
Well read and quickly got ball to boot. In a blink of an eye, Wonthaggi have got 2.
Number 2, it's Ryan Sparks here from Wonthaggi. He gets the hand pass out of the back and big snap for the goal.
Handball off there with teammate in Sparks. And the best man on the ground kicks the best goal of the day.
Number 3, it's Chance Daltrey here from Traralgon. In blustery conditions, he unloads from beyond the arc and sends it home.
He gives it to Daltrey. Comes back onto the right foot. Thumps it high and long. Breeze might bring this back beautifully from a standing start, if you don't mind. That's the spark the Maroons want. And it's come from Chance Daltrey.
That's a thumping kick.
Coming in at number 4, it's Lucas Tripodi here from Traralgon. Just gets the hand pass and shapes this one through. Lovely, lovely stuff.
Might own Cafe Aviva, but he might have a Zambrero burrito in his hand.
Yeah, perfect build-up for...
Number 5, it's Max Woodall here from Moe. We saved the best for last. Look at him go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3. Can he get a 4th? He does. He lines it up. Is it home? Oh, yeah. Max Woodall was cooking.
It's one of the best we've seen all year. And the youngster in Max Woodall, take your hat off to that. A running, bouncing goal. There's none better in this game of footy. Yeah, welcome back to Ted Summer, the reserve. Traralgon just breaking away from their huddle right now. And it is game on. We've got 1 quarter to go in this first semi-final. The loser goes home. It's a 7-point margin, and it is in favour of the Traralgon side. 4-5-29, leading Wonthaggi 3-4-22. Nick Lucchino has been down at ground level. He's been to both the huddles. Boxer, what'd you find out?
Yeah, got to take no risks now, the Power. That's it. It's just not all or nothing now. So he's put it back on the players. First, second, third, fourth efforts. He's asking for everything now for the Power to get through it. Now, the wind here is still pretty strong. So Traralgon, they're pretty relaxed. They were pretty happy with that quarter as well. It sort of played into their hands a little bit, but he said they didn't take the chances and the opportunities. So really important now for both sides who actually takes the opportunities when they come. Big moments, last quarter, 30 minutes of footy left for one of these sides.
Beautiful. Thanks very much, Boxer. Down at ground level. Good work, Paul Carter, with all the key stats. Thanks to Gippsland Isuzu.
Well, against the Breeze, Wonthaggi eventually won the inside 50s 13-11. The clearances went Traralgon's way that time 13-9. The ruckman, Max Jacobson, 16 hit-outs in the third quarter. He's 41 for the match. Main stat winners, Louis D'Angelo, 22. Ty Horrigan, 11 that quarter to 21. 17 to Jordan Cunico. 17 to Connor Ambler. For Wonthaggi, 15 to Ryan Sparks. 16 to Josh Bates. 17 to Isaac Chugg.
Well, here it is. Can Traralgon, what sort of game plan do they go with now, Scotty? Do they really continue that run and attack with the Breeze and really put the foot down?
Yeah, dangerous to put the cue in the rack this early. I think they want to kick 2 goals. If they kick the first couple, they can look to slow things down. But until then, they'll be as they were.
Rightio. Last quarter underway, all thanks to Harvey Norman Computers. The first tap goes to Jacobson, and working hard in there to try and extract something out was Horrigan, who starts in the middle of the ground as you'd expect.
I see Bray's gone into the ruck for Power.
Yep, for the first time this afternoon. Although Jacobson still wins the tap. Great work by Daltrey. Just lost the footy, though. Coming the other direction is Murray. Start to insert a little bit of strength. Gives it to Sparks. Sparks' right foot kick out in front of Williams. Tom McMahon will close. He's got good closing speed. Williams will see it go over for a boundary throw-in. They want the deliberate there, Traralgon, but they got the boundary throw-in all the same.
That was my move. They asked me a quarter time, what do you want to do? 3/4 time, the Power, and I said, put Bray into the ruck. Get some drive. He gave him plenty of drive last week.
And he did in the second quarter. He had 11 hit-outs in the second quarter, then nothing in the third.
Yep, so this is the man now.
Ball clears both ruckmen. D'Angelo had it, then lost it. Umpire said, let's ball it up as Blair just tried to sneak out the front of the pack.
There's no panic, though, from Wonthaggi in their huddle. They're very relaxed. They're just going to make sure the effort's there this quarter.
So Bray gets Jacobson out of the way. They can't win the clearance. So it's Traralgon through Horrigan. Pops a little handball off there, favouring his teammate under the boundary line. Teammate wins it, long kick down the line. McKenna uses his body well to create space. Chugg first one back there at ground level for Wonthaggi. He picks it up. He's hotly pursued, though. The kick's got to be good.
Star.
It is. He is a jet. And he finds... Was it Hayes or McMillan? I think it might be McMillan. McMillan goes defensive side, disappointingly. But they hold on to the footy. And it'll be Knowles with the ball in hand. Knowles' little kick finds a teammate 15 yards in front of him. This time it's Jack Blair. Blair looks inboard. Keep looking this way and start kicking it this way, I reckon. But he won't listen to me. He goes long down the line. Jacobson gets a hands on it and spoils it. And Traralgon at ground level will settle. And McMahon picks it up and kicks a big torry up to half forward. Leprez sets himself underneath it. Ball hits the ground. It's one down there by O'Connor. O'Connor gets a kick up there to a teammate. Teammate there is Tiziani. Dishes the handball off to Blair. Blair comes central. Mark taken by Bray. Good by you, Box, to get him into the game. Bray's got Chugg on if he wants to really bite it off. He goes shorter than that to McMillan, but it's a little too high for the little fella. Daltrey goes in, can't be clean. Ball picked up by Murray, been really good since half-time.
Good tackle.
But he's tackled this time. Ball will hit the deck. Louis D'Angelo will take the free kick across half-back, Scud.
One thing I've noticed early is they do want to take that risk in the middle of the ground to the Power. They haven't done it all afternoon, but now they want to. Great work by Horrigan to find Cunico on the outer side.
Scud, the clear message was to come this top side from Wonthaggi as well to attack it.
All right, so Cunico looks up, kicks down the line, outer side. It's a one-on-one, and it gets to the back. O'Connor's been good this afternoon. Traralgon try and lock it in. Marsh grabs it inside the field of play, and he'll be tackled for a ball up now.
Those little moments then by Bray, the kick into McMillan, just that little thought process there. The kick wasn't right. He executed it well. They're away.
Up it goes with Bray tapping it down. Sparks tried to run through a couple Willerton and D'Angelo tackles, and they're two very good tacklers from the Maroons. Final quarter, all thanks to Harvey Norman Computers. You're listening to Gippsland Live right across Gippsland and the Valley, and streaming live on the Listener app. Anywhere in the world you can tune in.
Anywhere.
We've got followers in New Zealand,
Serbia,
Italy. Rob Popplestone in the upper mountains of France. There's a handball over the shoulder. Goes to McMahon, and he'll see it go over for a boundary throw. In margin, still 7 points there. Traralgon lead it. Final quarter. Here's Scotty Berry-Cree on TRFM.
So it'll be McKenna up against Bray this time. McKenna doing the ruck work in the forward half. Jacobson setting up behind the footy. Bray uses his body to create space where there wasn't any. Ball to be won at ground level. They go backwards to go forwards. The umpire's got no choice, zero choice, but to come in and toss it into the air. 55 out from the Traralgon goal. They currently lead by 7 points, 4.5 played in the last quarter. The ruckmen both go underneath it. McKenna picks it up, second chance, hacks the ball forward. No one can pick it up cleanly initially. And the umpire will come in again, you would suspect, as Williams gets himself up off the bottom of the pack. And the umpire will toss this one into the air about 20 around, up against the boundary line, Traralgon goal. McKenna does well, but it's sharked at ground level really well there by Sparks. His kick's spoiled. Ball will stay entrenched in the Traralgon 50.
Gee, this first goal's important, isn't it?
Very important right now. Traralgon are really working hard just to keep it in their area.
The Sherrans going to have to start paying rates up here, Box.
Yeah, they will.
If it doesn't leave soon. So they go at it for a third or fourth time. McKenna grabs it, snaps around the corner, finds the point post on the bounce. So this will favour Traralgon. They have a ball in, hard up against the point post. And we'll toss this one back into play. And this young fella gets plenty of traction on it. Get out the back, I reckon. Get out the back, I reckon. What would I know? Ball gets out the back. Picked up out here by the power, and they're off to the races. Murray dishes a handball off to the runner, Hayes. Hayes goes up to half forward. Traralgon set up behind it well. McInnes gets here to create a contest, and that stoppage will just about do them.
Perfect. It's a perfect kick out of their defensive 50. Get it in their zone right now, but they've got to get numbers up. Like, they're not working really hard enough at the minute. The power to work their players up. The umpire's going to throw this in. It's going to be a big throw-in too.
5.5 minutes, final quarter. Jacobson's at the back. Gets to the front area for the midfielders to work, and no one's really got any space. And the umpire will ball it up. A bit of a stalemate. Been a big crowd this afternoon here at Ted Summitter Reserve.
Canberra's packed, Scudman.
Absolutely. Full of Traralgon supporters at the moment. Jacobson with a big tap down. Neocleus tapped it forward. They got numbers. Blair will just soccer it off the ground. That might work. Jared comes the other direction. Good body work. Gets under the tackler. Halliburton 50 metres out. Nearly ran down from behind. Tommy McMahon stands tall. Good pressure by Dunbar as well on Blair. And McMahon goes backwards to find... in the back pocket, is it Jacko McMahon?
Brother
It was. Tom to Jackson. He gets called to play on, kicks to the outer side. Target will be Bax Jacobson. Goes over his head. Dill Lopez helps out and takes the mark.
He's taking some great contested marks this afternoon, Dill.
Chips it over the top. He's got one on to Turigan. And he's just rolled forward. The quick handball to Willerton. Left it behind, but he's got some pace. He gives it to the runner. Marsh chips it inboard. Chug's there. Takes the mark, Chug. He's going to switch it. They could be away. It gets out towards McMillan. He takes the mark. He's got a runner in Schultz. He can gather it. He can kick it down the line. He's got the big ruckman in Thomas. Membry closes. Thomas has two goes at it and plays on quickly. Drives it inside. It's a poor kick. Tommy McMahon, though, spoiled it. It goes out the back. Jackson has to mop up his brother's dirty work. He's done that plenty of times. And the outlet kick missed. Dunbar. We're going to boundary throw in.
Just not enough talk around the play then, too, for the Maroons. There was 3v1. So all Thomas McMahon had to do was mark the bloody thing. So right now, a little error in a danger spot here for the Maroons. Up to Wonthaggi now to make the most of it.
O'Connor sets up out the back of this contest. It'll be Bray up against Jacobson. Jacobson gets the ball out the back, taps it down. Murray, who's really come into the game since half-time, gets back to Chug. Chug gets onto his left leg. Hardly misses the target. Just probably half a yard too far for the big man there in Bates to get hold of the footy. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
No score in 8 minutes of play, boys.
Traralgon still by that 7-point margin. Ruckman go a long way back and then charge forward. Jacobson says, give me the footy. He takes it out of the ruck, gets a little handball over the top there. They put Ambler under all sorts of pressure, but he's good enough. He comes back to Neocleus. He pops a handball there to
Oh, great little
Reuters. Reuters then turns the footy over across half back, and the Power have got it in Bray's hands. Bray gets the ball forward. Marking option. Mark taken by Lindsay. 45 out.
Too far out.
Yep.
He goes to the top of the square. We've got 2-2, 1-on-1, so that's a 2-on-2 last time I checked. Ball hits the ground. Handball comes back this side towards Murray. Murray bursts through a couple, gets a handball off O'Connor. O'Connor wrapped up in a big tackle. Not high evidently. And the umpire will come and ball it up 30 out directly in front of the Power goal.
And just to throw a little bit of a wobbly into the wind, we've got a bit of rain coming as well now too.
Tap down for the runner in Brown. Can't complete it. Hayes gives a quick one to Bates. Bates gives it to Murray. And Murray's quickly wrapped up.
That free kick then by the umpire too. That was a definite high free kick. They played a couple to Traralgon in that second quarter. Hasn't been reciprocated in this last.
Big moment for Metricon right now. This first goal is all important. Either way you suspect Daltrey will see it go over for a boundary throw in. Reuters just coming off. I think he got stood on, actually. An accident step on the foot by Chug. Right when you get the stud right in between the toe. Can't be good down in the metatarsals. So what's down there? That area is the box. A big throw in by the boundary umpire. Gets over to the back. Jack Blair's there. Daltrey does well. Taps it forward. Continues on the run. Forward handball's missed. They're going to go forward now, the Maroons. Great work by Dunbar. He got it to Neocleus. Now to McKenna. McKenna out in front of Lopez. He stops and waits. It's going to get to the back. Chug's going to play defence. Lopez is there. Handballs over the top to Halliburton. Good tackle by the Power defence. They stand strong. And they stop certain goal for the Maroons.
If we're playing Monopoly, they've just used the get-out-of-jail-free card there for sure.
Mark that down. 10-minute mark, final quarter. Big moment for the Power. Can they get something here, the Maroons, for the stoppage? McKenna taps it out. Lopez kicks was smothered. Neocleus steps around the body and puts it through. It's a Zambrero goal and a contender. But in the whole scheme of things, the Maroons extend the margin and might just be going to a prelim.
Yeah, great call, Scud. And the thing is about Neocleus is I haven't heard his name really that often this afternoon. His first goal for the day, I dare say to say, because we've only kicked 5 for the Traralgon side this afternoon. But what a goal, what a clutch goal, what a moment to kick the goal. There's a lot of errors made inside his defensive 50 for the Power. They took advantage of it. The best small forward in the comp just about made him pay.
Boys, that's the first score of the game that's come directly from a stoppage, and it's a very important one at the 10-minute mark, which takes Traralgon to a 13-point lead on the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
So Bray goes up. Jacobson starting to win the battle of the ruck battle. Blair gets his hands on it. Handballs back to Bray. Acts as a fourth on-baller. He kicks out the defensive side, but this might favour the Power initially. Ball gets out the back of the contest there towards Hayes. Hayes keeps it inside, pops a handball backwards to a teammate. One too many perhaps, so Willerton from Traralgon's there. Wonthaggi win the ball back, and the umpire will come in and say, ball this one up on the half-forward flank. Just too cute by half, I think, there.
Yeah, too many brain fades here for the Power at the moment.
The rain coming a little bit.
It is coming a little bit. I'm just watching this tin roof because it's a bit wet.
Is the wind sort of easing off? Sometimes when the rain arrives, the wind will drop off a little bit.
Slightly. It has slightly sort of tapered off a little bit going by my trusty little gum tree on my left here. But right now, a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, but nothing too much to worry about.
Bray sharks it out of the ruck and kicks a big barrel into the forward 50. Looks for Lindsay. Boundary line to win the argument, though. Power get territory here.
And this is where you're right too, Scotty. They miss McGuinness right now. McGuinness, his presence today hasn't been there. He's been very well held. But the ball inside 50 has been the other catalyst for him as well. It hasn't been coming inside 50 too well for him either.
13-point the margin. Traralgon getting the opening goal in the quarter. We've travelled 12 and a half minutes now. Ball gets to the back. And Kinnico shuffles a handball out to D'Angelo. Right foot kick. Gains good territory. O'Connor couldn't complete the mark. Gilmore comes in. Numbers there in Traralgon. Hamilton, he got it. Now barreled it inside forward 50. Open forward 50. Chug and Neocleus. Two speedsters. Neocleus, does he keep his feet? He gathers it. He does. He took on the tackle of Chug holding the footy. Isaac Chug's having some sort of game.
He's had some sort of fortnight, Scott. He's been unbelievable these last two finals. He just needs reward from effort from his teammates here. They've got to score when they get inside 50. While the plovers are swooping everybody that comes near him.
The kick, though, he's come off the instep. It's going to go straight down, although two Traralgon players crash into each other. Gilmore hard at it. Halliburton hard at it. Oh, Neocleus went hard and hasn't moved. He's in strife. He looks around. He said, what hit me there?
It was a big Bray train, I think.
Goodness gracious, bodies on the line everywhere.
Love the effort of both players then as well.
This is just crazy stuff as you'd expect in a first semi-final. 13 minutes have gone. Traralgon pressing. We've got another stoppage.
It's just the videotape during the week. Whoever wins this game, they'll go back to that stoppage then as well and just reward both players.
McKenna gets a tap down into a little bit of space. Bray at ground level again. Good. Stacks on the mill. Stacks on the mill. It's going to be... I think it's going to take a decent clip of the footy in the air from one of these ruckmen to get it into a little bit of space here. Forget the cute stuff. Forget the setups. Just punch the bloody thing where you want it to go. And Wonthaggi do win the ball, but under all sorts of pressure, they've turned it over straight away on the half-back flank here. Wax streams forward, screaming for the footy at the top of the 50-metre arc, and then like a good defender, he gets back out of the space.
What I don't understand is Traralgon have 4 players defending that wall.
Kick comes in. It's not a great one. Doesn't advantage Leprez at all, so he has to act in the role of defender. Probably at this point in time, 13 points up, go to the top of the square, put it somewhere dangerous.
Yeah, agree. And I think the protection of the outside there by Traralgon was fantastic, but the effort from the Wonthaggi players to get up there and make sure they didn't win it was pretty poor.
So McKenna wins a tap down. Surprise, surprise, Chug gets a footy.
Good kick.
Surprise, surprise, Chug hits a target, and it's Jack Blair. And they're on the attacking side. Please keep coming this way. They go back through the middle. Just a little half kick there. Tom Murray, the inclusion today, been outstanding in the second half. He puts a little 7-iron down the line looking for Lindsay, but it's not going to find him. It's going to find Jackson McMahon, who's been outstanding in defence all day for the Maroons. And he just slows things down. McKenna's down there on Bray one-on-one. Can he get that far? Well, he's not going to even look for it. He's going to go down towards Leprez. Bray pushes across. Chug flies. Second, third attempt. Chug takes the mark. Just give him the footy.
You got to pay
Just
the
give
mark,
him the footy.
umpire.
The umpire says, no, Mark, give me a spell. Like the wizard said to the wand, give me a spell. That's a mark every day of the week. It's stoppage in the Traralgon forward 50.
Harvey Norman computer scoreboard. It's Traralgon 5-5-35. Wonthaggi 3-4-22. Working down there was Patterson. Hayes is there as well. Give a handball. Willerton picked it off. Gives it to McMahon. He left it behind. Tiziani runs onto it. Forward handball to a player under pressure. Jacobson will come in. Tiziani has to go hard. It couldn't complete the tackle. McMahon gets it to Daltrey. He's lost it. Sparks is there. Over the shoulder back to Tommy McMahon. Over the boundary line and into the coaching staff for Wonthaggi while Sparks and Daltrey have a bit of a howdy-doody.
Hope Tiziani actually gives a little bit of spark back to the power. That was great second and third efforts then too by young Nick, and I hope the power just take a little bit of a leaf out of that book then and start working back into this game here.
This boundary umpire can hoik it in, and he does that. Centre wing over the back of the ruckman. Chug was there. They're going to fight for it. Ground level is Blair. Marsh jumps in. 16 minutes now. Time starts to become the enemy for the power. And the Traralgon side are holding strong. They've been awesome this afternoon. They lead by 13.
Ball comes, favours Wonthaggi's direction, but it's won across the back half by Jackson McMahon. He hacks it forward. One of the ball boys down there, Fergus O'Connor, sits underneath it. Can't win it at ground level. Ball shoots forward. Daltrey picks it up. Spear tackle by Fergus.
Holding the ball. He has been enormous.
Dropping the footy. O'Connor will win the ball across half back.
He has been enormous across half back, especially the last 2 quarters. What's going on here?
The umpire's told him to play on.
No.
Oh, that's not...
The Oculus has heard the call. O'Connor hasn't. The Oculus has come in, buried him in a tackle and said, give me the T-dub. Give me the T-dub, Sharon. We're off to the races here. So Neoculus from about 60 out, carrying on like he could kick it, goes towards the top of the square. The big boys will set themselves down here. Big Jacobs is down there.
Got it.
Big Jacobs is down there.
Big deal.
And Leprez says, thanks for the presents, but I'll take the footy. And he'll take a mark about 8 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
This is it. Seal the game right now.
Absolutely. And they must have been listening to you, Scotty, as well. Why muck around with it around the arc? Get the ball inside 50 to your big fellas. And Traralgon have just done that as well. Here we go now for Dill Lopez.
So Leprez, he can throw it through. He's that close. He'll just go inside right-hand goalpost and end it. He goes inside right-hand goalpost, and I reckon he's ended at box.
He has, mate. You can put a fork in it right now. The power season's right over right now. I know we've only been playing 18 minutes, but they've got to come up and double their score in 1 quarter to win this game as well. So Traralgon's pressure has been enormous, and they've sustained it through the 4 quarters as well. Forced the turnover, haven't allowed the power to come to this top side, which they wanted this last quarter to attack the footy. and it's Traralgon's game to lose right now.
And Dylan LaPraise gets his second goal, joining Harvey Neoclis as the only multiple goal kickers today. 19-point lead to Traralgon, 18 minutes final quarter. Harvey Norman Computers, it's 41 plays 22.
Well, back to the middle. 18-minute mark. Jacobson with a tap down. A quick kick from Murray goes to centre half forward. Working hard is Patterson, but he left it behind. And Dunbar comes the other way. Handballs over the shoulder. D'Angelo's been great this afternoon. A dumping kick out towards the wing. Gilmore's back there. He's got Halliburton for company. Arches the back. Great work by Hamilton just to cause the tap. And the ball goes over for a boundary throw in. The youngster of Traralgon are standing tall with the experience that they might not have. But they're playing a great game all the same. A shallow throw in on this occasion. The umpire says, hang on, you've done well all day. Let's do this one again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the umpire we're talking about. The other one deserves a Zambrero, so we might even talk to him later on.
All right, well, there's a decent throw in, Boxer. You sold him short. Goes out the back. Chug tries to crash through. D'Angelo did well to Jackson McMahon. Ambler went back with a flight. Well, it was touched. And we'll have another ball up. 19 and a half minutes, just about to tick into time on. And you don't think it's going to go more than probably 26, 27 minutes, you wouldn't suspect.
Only 2 scores this quarter.
Jacobson tacks it down to Ambler. A right foot kick to the pocket. Back with a flight goes Hamilton. Couldn't complete the mark, but enough to touch it and go over for a boundary throw in.
Matchups have been good for Wonthaggi today. I think one of the key factors from the coaching side of it, they've got their matchups right. Wack's done the job on McGuinness. So far as well. We haven't seen a lot of Jared Blair. Jack Blair as well hasn't had a big impact. So far, so good for the Maroons.
Sarsfield press against Bray. Ball sharked out of the ruck by D'Angelo. The outside of the boot, snap around the corner. Rush through for a minor score only.
20-point lead now to Traralgon. They are 6-42, leading Wonthaggi 3-4-22. Harvey Norman Computer scoreboard.
So O'Connor brings it in. And he's dead set, laced it out like he was intending to hit Jordan Cunico in the head. And Jordan's jumped up and said, thanks for the footy. I play for the opposition, though. I'm going to go back from 50 and really try and put some salt into the wounds.
He's got a fair chance here, Scotty. And I know it sounds as silly as it does this late in the game. But the win might do a fair bit of work on this.
So if he starts just outside right-hand goal post would be my advice. Jordan comes in. He goes just outside right point post, and that's where it stays, and he goes out of bounds on the full.
Rightio, so the Traralgon side, 20 points in front late in the last quarter. And they look to book their spot in a prelim to have another crack at Moe next week. The kick goes down the line to Sparks. They've got to move it quickly, the power. He goes inboard. Picking it off, though, was Marsh, a double fister. Got it a half back. Williams comes the other direction. A high kick back to half forward. Hourigan has done all afternoon. That is mark number
11
for Ty Hourigan. And he'll just bite a little bit of time off as well. Backwards to Membry, who's been good. Lateral kick to Tommy McMahon. This back six of the Traralgon side have been fantastic today. And not to mention that Joel Scolters is out with what we believe, a dislocated shoulder and a cracked collarbone as well. They've stood tall. The kick went down to the wing. And lots of numbers are out, and they'll ball it up. 22 minutes gone. It's all but done, Box.
It is, mate. And quickly around the grounds, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture in the A grade today. It was Drew and they got over Bairnsdale 52-43.
Ball far side of the ground. No one able to win it from that clearance. The umpire said free kick, and it'll go Wonthaggi Power's way. Too little, too late. They come through the middle of the ground, and they've put it straight down the opposition's throat again. If they were looking to find Tristram Wack, they couldn't have done better than put it on a silver platter and presented it to him. And he takes the mark at centre half back and just says, I'm going to kick it back over there. So he kicks it exactly back over there, and Traralgon will be happy to see that one stay there. O'Connor from Wonthaggi does well, picks it up. They go through hands. They get the ball forward here. There might be some sort of a sniff as Noel's handball goes out of bounds. One able to find McInnes. And we'll have another stoppage on the far side of the ground. And I think Traralgon will be content if that's where the ball stays for the rest of the day. So we'll toss this one back in. It'll be Thomas up against Jacobson. Jacobson gets a front spot, wins the tap, gains 3 or 4 yards, gets the boundary line, kills 8 or 9 seconds.
This is a big win from Traralgon, a huge win. They've bounced back from their disappointment a couple of last week and 20 points in front at the moment. And they'll play Moe on their home deck next week in a prelim final for a chance into the 2024 Gippsland League Grand Final. Leon Gather awaits.
So Jacobson takes it out of the ruck, goes handball backwards to Jackson McMahon, who's taken high in a tackle, and Traralgon will just set this up. And they'll be happy to play kick-to-kick backwards here if they feel like it. They don't. They play on and go long down the line. That's a bit of a UFO into the forward line. Leprez does well to get two hands, so it can't complete the mark. Little hack kick forward. And who's down there waiting for it but Isaac Chugg, who's got to have racked up some serious numbers today.
Paul Carter, how's he travelling for the afternoon?
That's 9 marks for him and 22 disposals.
He's had a very good afternoon. Had his hand in a lot of play as well. Can Traralgon get another one and just put an absolute exclamation mark on this win? D'Angelo gives it back to Ambler. A high kick. Where's the forwards? Hamilton might fly deep. He had to become the spoiler. He won't die wondering, Josh Hamilton. Gilmore's back there. Squeezed a handball to Chugg. Kicks it out of his defensive 50. Straight down the middle. Hourigan. Mark. Strong and tall. We've spoken to him a number of times about Gippsland Live Player of the Day. Can we go to him again?
Barrel.
No.
Barrel. Kick a barrel.
Scotty wants a barrel. He's not going to get it because a drop punt will go high and wide. It's offline. No one can mark it, but a big spoil goes over for a boundary throw in. 24 and 3/4 minutes final quarter.
Where's the sense of theatre?
Yeah, I know. The theatre's gone. I think the balloon has bursted.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Or burst.
I'd be getting Hourigan off at this stage.
Oh, there wouldn't be long to go now. We've played 25 minutes. How many goals kicked this quarter? 2?
Only the 2.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be far away from a siren.
Couple of stoppages. Thomas with a tap down. Kick from Traralgon was smothered. Gets out the back. High kick there was from Murray. Goes out to the outer side. Membry's been very good as well. He might be our Gippsland Isuzu player of the day.
That's my one.
All right.
That's my tick for me.
He's been sensational this afternoon. He's really controlled the back six as well. Hourigan's obviously in the best players for the Maroons, but being the captain, we probably we've spoken to him.
He only lost it because he marked it over Jared Blair, who's only 4'5". Okay, so he loses that little mark.
So Jacobson takes it out of the ruck. I'm not sure if he keeps stats on that, but he's swallowed it out of the ruck about 10 times. But he's given away a free kick in doing so. So Power, they'll come through the middle of the ground here. The give and go. And it gets in the hand of Mitch Hayes, who's been sneaky good, comes up towards the coach. The coach rocks and rolls outside 50, goes to Murray. He turns the Jets on, handball to Hayes. Hayes goes a full 360, slaps it on his shoe and goes forward. Jackson McMahon back there, flicks it through the sets of hands, and Traralgon will just kill this. Or, no, they'll keep it alive and kick it out here towards Cooper. But Cooper's got the impossible task. He's got Chugg with him, and no one beats Chugg. Chugg pops a handball up to Blair. Blair goes the outside, snap around the corner. Minor score only. Otherwise, he would have been off to Zambreros for sure and certain.
19-point margin, and Wonthaggi's first score of the quarter takes him to 3-5-23, trailing Traralgon 6-6-42. Harvey Norman computed scoreboard at 26.5 played of the last quarter.
Say hello to your new 4G and super fast 5G mobile. Great deals at Harvey Norman Computers.
Great effort by Traralgon. Their pressure's still on. We've been playing 26 minutes last quarter, deep in the last quarter, and they've been relentless with their tackling.
They certainly have. Jacko McMahon goes to the outer side. A big pack. No one can mark. Well, there's a big shove out. And it's going to Traralgon's Hamilton.
Scud, just quickly, Paul Carter. Free kicks today. Just interested.
This quarter, it's 4 apiece, and that will take the total to 25 to Traralgon and 31 to Wonthaggi.
Hamilton kicked over the top to Neocleus. Neocleus high, a wobbly kick to half forward. Target Lopez.
It's been good.
In front of Gilmore. He's worked into the game nicely. Dill Lopez just jogs back, wastes some time. He might go inboard, does he? No, Ambler was there for him. He decides to kick it high and long to the pocket. There's a Traralgon player down. Hamilton copped one off the ball. We've got a boundary throw. See, out of bounds on the full it is. And the Power will have it. Blair goes to O'Connor. He can come further afield on the switch to Knowles. Knowles got to play on. He doesn't. He goes back. And now Knowles will kick to Blair. Blair can mark. Half back. Chips it over the top to find Hayes. Hayes gets called to play on. Thumps it to half forward. Wack read this better. And Wack will take the mark at half back. He's been a solid contributor today for the Maroons. He goes short on this occasion to Tripodi. how good next week's going to be. Arch rivals, Traralgon, Moe. A big game. Not too far away in terms of neighbours that they are. They don't like each other a great deal. Moe beat them last week. Traralgon have knocked them off throughout the year. It's going to be a great game, that prelim. Kick goes down towards half forward for the Power. For the Maroons, I should say. Willerton was there, gives a handball back to D'Angelo, gets it out wide to Tripodi again, who takes a mark on the chest. 28 and a half minutes, siren just about to go, you'd suspect. He goes backwards to McMahon. I dare say there's about 2 seconds left. And siren will sound. Not just yet. Play on, said the umpire. McMahon, high kick to half forward. No one can mark it. Ground level there was whack. Took on the tackle. And Knowles threw him over. In front of the Traralgon supporters. And there's a little bit of fire, a little bit of dust up. And this doesn't want to get ugly now for the Maroons because the siren's not far away and you're about to go into a prelim. You don't want to do anything stupid.
So the excellent tosser comes and throws it way back into play. Way back into play it goes. And as Hazu picks it up for Power and kicks down the line, whacks in the way. Whacks in the way of McInnes. McInnes will have nightmares about whack until next footy season, I reckon. Every time he's looked up today, he's seen Tristan.
Siren sounds. There it is. It's all over, Scotty.
And that's a resounding win to the Traralgon Maroons. They've been all over Wonthaggi since half-time.
Yeah, they are in to a prelim final. Traralgon are 6-6-42. They've knocked off Wonthaggi 3-5-23. It's a massive game next Saturday afternoon in the prelim between Traralgon and Moe, and what a game that's going to be. We're going to get to our post-game, have a chat to the victors. We're going to send Boxer down for our goal of the day as well. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM. It's the Maroons victorious in the first semi-final by 19 points. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman, Electrical Gippsland.